Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. I am one of two commentators for tonight, Malc. With me as always, and he's back in the commentators box hot seat here, is Tim. How you doing, mate? You alright?
How you doing, Malc? It's good to be back. I had somewhere else I had to be last week, unfortunately, but I am back again this week for the Hungaroring, and I am very excited, and I'm also waiting to see how many drivers use too much curb and end up spinning it around, because as you know, this track, the curbs are so tall that you hardly can't use them at all.
Absolutely, and it's just one of those trickiest tracks here, to be fair. And if you don't get it spot on as well, and it will cost you massively on here tonight, and obviously with points at stake here, and like I said, with the standings, we'll go through the standings in a moment or two, but with a bit of an update as well. Obviously Moreno is, I believe, from what I've been told, cannot make tonight's race, so the way that he's going at the moment here, Cliffy will have a good advantage here to try and get some decent points here tonight. But obviously at the Hungarian ring here, it's one of the trickiest tracks here, and obviously in Performance League terms, this is more suited for, I would believe, a Red Bull car. But what's your thoughts of the track in your overall view here, mate?
My thoughts of the Hungaroring is it's actually very fun track to drive around. The first DRS, or really I guess technically the second DRS zone, the one just coming out of turn number 1 is absolutely useless. I don't understand why it exists. But otherwise, the track is very fun to drive around. I do hate turn number 4 because it's such a difficult corner. It's a blind uphill left-hander, which is an awful combination in and of itself. And when you add in the fact that track penalties, track limits and time penalties are so very common at that corner, it just gives you a recipe for disaster. And if that's not bad enough, turn 5 is just as tricky. It's an easier corner overall, but if you so much as look at the curb, you're gonna spin. You cannot use the curb at all there, or it will take you around, and then it's your race ruined. So, as you said, it's a very technical track, and it's tricky to really get it right. But overall, despite those obstacles, I really do love this track.
Absolutely, it's as you rightly said there, there's some tricky corners, and penalties does not help around here as well, and they'd be absolutely crucial around here as well. And obviously with turn 4, the blind one, you could easily overcut it, penalty, undercut it, penalty. But if you do get it right, but your backhand just went, you could easily hit the wall, hit the gravel, hit the grass too much there as well. And you said earlier on with turn 5, you could easily clip the curb there as well, and you could easily lose the car, and and that's what happened to me last night in the F4 League. I clipped the corner at turn 5, I went down from 2nd to 15th, luckily with 30 laps, you heard it right, 30 laps of the hard tyre to go all the way up to 5th place after dropping down just 1 place overall for the qualifying. But obviously we're back with the full qualifying scenario here. Obviously, if you're not sure how all the full qualifying scenario works in F1 scenario, if there's 20 drivers, the top 15 will go through to Q2, and then during the Q2 there'll be the top 10 battle out. But in that Q2 scenario, wherever the tyre that you do your best lap on and you're in the top 10, those are the tyres that you'll be starting on, so that will be massively crucial. And track position is crucial around here as well, and with the tyre wear, if you can get medium, or maybe start off on the hards as well. It obviously hards is a bit awkward to start off with, but well, I say hards to start off with, normally you get the mediums or softs during the qualifying scenario. So if you can get the medium, to start off with in that situation, it lasts a little bit longer, and you might have some fresh tyres at the end for the hard tyres as well. So from everyone's point of view as well, from this point of view, obviously top 15 will go through. Obviously one person will get eliminated here tonight unless it decides to change the scenario. But if you do get DNF or during the qualifying itself, you will lose out massively here. And I believe Vienna has just joined in late, so whatever car he will pick, hopefully he'll pick on the Alpha I believe it's the Alfa Romeo, but I'll get that confirmed as well. So, but from everyone's point of view here, Tim, what do you think is going to happen here? Obviously, with Cliffy in the Williams as well. Same with Harry as well. Harry, who'd driven a magnificent race as well last week on his debut as well. It'll be tough to see him in the Williams in the Hungarian ring here. But what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Cliffy will emulate what he did? He's already done 2 pole position sitters already this season. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think he'll get the hat-trick of pole positions this season?
At this point, I don't think that you can really count Cliffy out. He has had a lot of speed over the course of the season, and rightly so. He is leading the point standings over Moreno right now. So I say that you can't count Cliffy out here today. But as far as what's going to happen here in the first session is, it's really not going to get too interesting until about the last 6 minutes or so. So these first few laps, we're just going to see how the drivers are, gauge their performance, and see what kind of times they're going to be setting down. And then we're going to get to the good stuff later on. And it looks like Lewis 11004 is going to be the first driver to start their flying lap officially. So that Haas machine, a little bit of a lockup going into turn 1 from that right front, now into that little DRS zone, heading down into turn number 2. And so far, so good. No, actually, there is a lockup in the left front that time around. So that's one thing that you really got to watch out for here at the Hungaroring, especially in that corner, because you're going downhill. So you're carrying a lot more speed than what you normally would. So you got to be so very careful to not lock it up, because all it's really going to do is hurt your tires.
Absolutely. And just watching it from Lewis's front end point of view here on the car, he's had a bit of a lock up there through the chicane part there. That'll be the crucial point, as I said earlier on as well. And through the S's here, you need to get the flow of the car here. If you don't get flow here as well, especially at this end point here, at the end of the second sector here now, this will be absolutely crucial as well. Coming to turn 12 here now. This is what I call the unlucky turn from turn 13 here. We've got the start of the pit entry here. This is turn 14, so 14 corners here. Let's see who's going to try and get a good opportunity here. DRS active here as well, and 16.1. A 1 minute 16.1 from Lewis there in Q1 there, Tim.
Yeah, Lewis, he was purple in all those sectors that time around, and I was watching on the map that when the drivers would pass the sector line, that no one would go faster than him. So not very surprising to see him up there so far, but let's wait and see what other drivers can set. Of course, Rimac in P2 there, he won 16.231. It's only about a tenth of a second difference there. Looks like Cryptox is on his outlap, and he's about to start his flying lap. We got a few other drivers on track doing their first flying lap now. And now we got Sab, who goes quickest, a 1:15.844 on the soft tires.
That's brilliant stuff there from Sab, who's is trying everything he can here this season as well. And I'm sure, know for a fact, he will bounce back and he will do very well here. And he does, when he puts his mind to it, he will get that perfect momentum there as well. And I tell you what, Matty has got pole position now with a 1:15.1, I believe. Yeah, it is 1:15.160 there. Oh, would you believe it there, Tim?
I think I would, and as you said, Malc, this track is better suited for the Red Bulls, and Matty is driving a Red Bull here today. Let's see how his teammate of Mike does whenever he does come out on track. He's currently in the pits now, so we'll have to keep an eye on him whenever he decides to make his lap. But Roy Boy going fastest now, a 1:15.112 for the Renault driver. That's
a good time there from Roy Boy, who he's had a pole position time this season. I think it was in race 3, I believe it was, unless I get that mistakenly wrong there. But it will be, could it be his second pole position at the end, if it can keep it up throughout the whole session of the qualifying here? That's a big question here as well. Cryptox has done 1:16.6, so that's not good enough for the time here as well. So looking at those times there, Tim, and you've been watching some of the drivers' ability of the track itself, what time do you think will be? It's going to be a bit tough, but what do you think the cutoff will be for these drivers?
I think it's going to be about a 1:16.7, somewhere around there, give or take a few tenths. That just seems like that's the way it's going to go. And as you said, it's only going to be the top 15 that advance into Q2. So that's going to leave 2 drivers below that cutoff line.
Absolutely. Well, the last time we've got at the moment is Cryptox with 116.6. So I think a good time around here, I reckon that the cutoff point will probably be a 16.1, I think. A 16.1 will be the perfect cutoff point as well. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough there, but we'll have to wait and see how it all goes here as well. Good evening to everyone that's joined the session here. Hope you enjoy it. Live and exclusive here for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League as well. If you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. Just watching Vienna now doing his lapping here. He's got purple on both sectors here now. So with Vienna doing a momentous win last week at the Belgian Grand Prix, can he try and emulate it? Or was that a little bit of back end moment there at turn 13 there, coming to turn 14 now? It might be a 16.5, a 16.5 there, Tim. So the winner from last week's Belgian Grand Prix here, a little bit struggling here at the 10th place here.
Yeah, looks like he is. And as you said, only a 116.5 there for Vienna. Going to turn my attention now to Nightshades in the Ferrari. So far, he does not have a time on the board, so this will be his first time lap. He's in Sector 3, and it looks like he went fastest in Sector 2. So let's see if he can carry that speed over into the 3rd sector. We're just rounding the final 2 corners here. And these are very long, sweeping corners. They're so difficult to get right because if you apex it too early, then you're just going to have a bad exit. But there, he has a nice exit. Nightshades crosses the line, goes P3, a 115.719 for the Ferrari driver.
That's a good time there from Nightshades, who's in the Ferrari here for this race and also for next week's race at the Baku Grand Prix and the Azerbaijan Grand Prix as well. That is going to be epic there as well. But still, fantastic qualifying at the moment here for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. We only got Mike, Prime, I think Volcano's Prime, Nightgash, O'Stephen and Cliffy are the only ones who have got no time at all during the qualifying. But it looks like Volcano's Prime is going to do his lapping here. And what time he will do? He did a 16.2. 1 minute 16.2. I do believe 16.1 is the cut-off point. But we'll find out. Let's put some bets on it. If you watch this, guys, what do you think the cutoff will be? Do you think there'll be a bit of a shock? Do you think it could be lower? Could it be higher? Or in between our times of 1:16.1 or 1:16.7 there? Still, 6 drivers, sorry, in between those, in between 1:16.1 and 1:16.6. So let's have a quick glance at Cliffy here, actually. Let's see the Drivers' Championship leader as well. Ryan Mack, I believe, has moved himself up to 3rd place for 1:15.5. So, from Cliffy's point of view here, Tim, I know we've briefly mentioned to him that he was in the Williams for the next 2 races here. So, and he's got a bit of a briefing sigh of relief, I think, because obviously the ongoing of Moreno cannot make it tonight. Do you think, obviously, if Cliffy can get a good race here, this would be, it kind of feels like he needs to get that good points here tonight. Do you agree?
Yeah, he really does need to get a good points day here today because Moreno can't make it. So that will only do himself some favors if he's able to do that. And, of course, a win would be ideal. But if he can't get that, he's just going to have to be consistent. And if I were Cliffy, I wouldn't necessarily be worried about getting a win so much as just getting around the top 5, top 10 to maximize my points total. You'll get points no matter where you finish as long as you finish. But it's best to finish as high as possible for obvious reasons, and Cliffy going to 115.9 that time around, so that's good enough for P8. So that's about where he wants to be if he wants to have at least a decent points haul. Of course, being a little bit further up the board would be a lot better situation for Cliffy, but 8th is not too bad.
Absolutely, and he's done a good job there at the moment. So that I think that that might just survive, I think. That might just survive. But obviously, Roy Boy Matty definitely survived for Q2 either way. So we just got Mike and Nitrogash. I'm just watching Nitrogash at the moment here, coming up through passing the first sector with a 27.2 here. And he's coming up to the second sector now through the chicane part here as well. And Mike doing his lap in here as well. And obviously the tyre wear around here, the softs are not great around here. There's, well, I say not great. It all depends on what, if it's an aggressive strategy or aggressive driving skill that could cause the tyre wear massively. That will cause, well, massively bad as well. But it all depends on how these drivers can do it. So obviously you can do the softs up to lap 10 fresh. But with hard tyres, it could be over 30 laps as well. So either way, so probably mediums can last about 20 laps or more. It all depends on how you can manage those tyres. If you can do it perfectly, that'll be fantastic. Nitrogash is done a 1:17.3. It is not a great lap here from Nitrogash, so hopefully he'll bounce back here. Mike's invalidate his lap here, but who are you watching so far here, Tim?
Taking a look at Vulcanus Prime. He's out on his outlap. Currently his best time is 11th with a 1:16.216, and he's in Sector 3, so he'll be starting his flying lap now. Looks like he's going to be the first driver to start his flying lap, and I guess what you could say this second stint of qualifying laps. However, Vienna is actually on his timed lap, so we'll take a look at him first. Vienna actually about to cross the line, and as he does, he goes up to P9, a 1:15.963 for Vienna in the Alfa Romeo. We got Mike now in the Red Bull. He is on his timed lap, and he's going through turn number 1 and into turn number 2, activating that DRS. His teammate, or car allocated teammate anyway, of White, NWA Matty, is in P2, so let's see how Mike is able to do in that Red Bull, because as you said, this track really does suit the Red Bull. So we'll see if that can carry over to Mike, and he is quicker in Sector 1. He was the fastest in Sector 1 that time around. However, I think that Vulcanus Prime knocked him off of that, so we'll have to check and see on that when they both get back around. But going through Sector 2 now, going through that little chicane, Mike having a pretty good line through there, using a little bit of curb, but you got to be careful because they can upset the car and they can turn you around if you are not absolutely careful. He's using just enough curb, though, to hang on to it and get a good lap here. So through Sector 2, he is not the quicker car, so this will not be a pole lap for Mike, but let's see what he can salvage. Vulcanus Prime is just a little bit behind him on track, so they'll cross the line at about the same time. Mike bypassing the pit entrance, rounding the final corner, and about to cross the line. Let's see, where does he end up? This will be a timed lap, and he ends up in 12th, a 1:16.186. Vulcanus Prime has decided to pit. So Vulcanus Prime invalidated his lap, has decided to pit, going to try it one more time.
He's going to try to do it one more time. I'm just watching Jamie Ryan here. He's done a 1:16.269 here. Let's see what he can try to do in that Ferrari car here as well. Coming to the first sector now. 27 flat there, 3/10 quick gap. So at the moment here, 15.9, which could move him up to 7th place. As things stand, if both the second sector and third sector are exactly matched there. But let's see how Jamie Ryan can do it. He's one of those drivers that you cannot write him off at all. And he's one of those drivers who is in the PC League as well. We've got one of the drivers who's just come off track through the assist part there as well. Come to, oh my days, Jamie Ryan has got 5/10 quicker in his second sector lap here. Could this be the perfect pole lap? If it is, what a way to start off at the Hungarian Grand Prix here for the qualifying for Q1 here. Let's see what can Jamie do. Oh, 15.5, a 1:15.5 there from Jamie. So that could well, I reckon guaranteed safety there for Q2 there. So well done to Jamie there. That was a cracker of a lap there from himself there. Just having a quick glance at Mike here, and also Schofield is already out there with Cryptox and Nitrogash. So at the moment here, Cryptox and Nitrogash are in the danger zone at the moment here. So let's see what they can try and do with 2 minutes 45 left. Tim, are you watching Mike so far, or are you watching someone else so far?
Taking a look at Cryptox, actually, as he just started his what will likely be his final timed lap of the session. Of course, Cryptox, as you said, he is in danger with a 1:16.6 being his best lap, and he's in 16th at the moment. So he will not make it into Q2 if he cannot improve his time.
It all depends if he can try and make a good first sector, which he has done. He's a tenth quicker. So at the moment, 116.5 as things stand, but he's going to have to try and get through the chicane perfectly there. It looks like he has done it perfectly there. Vienna is out of Q1, not Q1 overall, he's just retired of the session here, so it looks like he's probably saying that's safe there for Q2 there, but at the moment here, Cryptox is 4/10 quicker, so 61 could be a possibility here. Matty and Rymac are both retired, same with Harry and Sab here as well. Cryptox is coming up to turn 14 now, he's coming up to the final corner here now, and he's trying to get a good lap here. 16.1 exact there, 16.1, that is a good lap from him. Fair play to him as well. Let's see how Scopes invalidate his lap. So he's probably got one last chance saloon here to try and get out and try and be safe here for and try the end of Q1, try and get into Q2 here as well. Tim, who are you watching so far?
Taking a look at Nitro Gash, he's on his final timed lap and rounding the final two corners, bypassing the pit entrance. He got a little bit loose out of that last corner. He's hanging on to it though, and out of the final corner, a much better line, and as he crosses the line, he will not improve his time by enough. So Nitro Gash a 116.6 unless he stays out this time to try to get into Q2. He will not be advancing. Scott Bugner, meanwhile, is just now approaching the third sector. He's on his out lap. He will have enough time to make it back to the line and start a flying lap, but it will be the last flying lap for the session. So Scott Bugner, the other driver, in danger of going out of Q1 here. And of course, Lewis is right there on the cutoff with a 116.101. So this is all so very close.
Absolutely. Actually, I don't know if Lewis had a DNF earlier on because his time is a little bit different to the times that we're seeing on screen here. But at the moment, it was just watching Scott now try and do his time here as well. He needs to try and get out of this session here as well. So at the moment here, I don't know if Nitrogas can improve there. It looks like one of the Red Bulls. A fair player. That might be Mike there. Yeah, Mike is just trying to get out of the way there. So Scott is about 2/10 quicker here. So at the moment here, 16 flat there would guarantee him safety if he could get exactly the same here. But it all depends. He's through the chicane part here now. Let's see what he can try and do through the tricky S's part sector here as well. You have to go right here and then try and push on here as well onto the left hand side here and try to swing to the right hand side to try and get a good exit here, and he's 400 quicker on his time here, so he has lost a bit of time there on the second sector by the looks of things here. We come up to turn 13 now, then come up to turn 14 in a moment or two here. Will Scott try and get into the top 14? That is the big question here. That could be a make or break moment. Passing the DRS straight here now, and he does. 116 flat there from Scott Bugner. Tim.
So it looks like Vulcanus Prime and Nitro Gash, both McLaren drivers, are going to be the ones who lose out in Q1 here. So it looks like the top 15 will be advancing. However, as you said, with Lewis being in 15th, but his time being a little bit different, not sure what's going on there, but nonetheless, he is still within the top 15. So Vulcanus Prime, Nitro Gash out in Q1.
Have to wait and see. We'll get that confirmation just to make sure we get that right for everyone here's sake here. But for everyone's sake, please, if you liked the race and it was like the qualifying so far, and you liked what you wanted to see what's going to happen here so far, please make sure to subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. Be fantastic stuff here as well. So at the moment here, it's been a good qualifying Q1 here, and to be fair though, do you think, I know it's a bit of a push here now, do you think we are going to hit the 14s here in Q2?
I'm almost positive that we are going to hit the 114s at some point.
We have to wait and see if it is going to be a possibility. We'll have to put a bet on to find out here. Roy Boy is in pole position in Q1 in first place. Matty in second. Jamie Ryan third. Roy Mac fourth. Nightshades fifth. Harry in sixth. Sab seventh. Mike eighth. O'Stephen ninth. Cliffy 10th. Vienna 11th. Scott in 12th. Cryptox 13th. Scope 14th. Lewis for Vulcanus Prime and Nitro Gash, but all three of them, I believe it looked like Lewis may have been DNF'd, but we'll get that confirmed. But it looks like for Chaos Prime and Nightgash are both automatically out of Q1 anyway. So Q2 as well. So let's see what's going to happen here from everyone's point of view. What, from the driving that you see and from all the expectations here as well, from everyone's point of view here, what do you think needs to happen here for the top 10? So would you gamble to go on the softs, or would you pretty gamble to try and go on the mediums to start off with in Q2?
I would definitely try to gamble on the mediums because I'm a fan of reverse strategies. So I love the fact that you can start on a harder compound tire and then change to the softer compound later in the race. It doesn't always work at all tracks, so it's best to run a practice race or two to kind of get your strategy figured out. But I would definitely at least give the medium tires a shot. If it don't work, I can always put a set of softs on and go back out there. But I would definitely try them.
Absolutely. Have to try and see what happens here from everyone's point of view here as well. It looks like Carrie and Nightshades are both out in the track here at the moment here for the soft tires. So they want to try and get into that top 10 easily here, or what's that, easily try and get that confirmation of there as well. Obviously, if you're in Q2, you have to get into the top 10, and wherever tyre wear you are in the top 10 will be the starting tyre wear to kick off here as well for the race as well. So obviously a 16.1 was the cut-off point. What do you think the cut-off point will be for this top 10, mate?
The cutoff point for this top 10, it is probably going to be somewhere around a 1:15.8 or 1:15.9, judging by the times from the last session.
Yeah, it could be that as well. It could be. I would actually agree with you on that one. I reckon a 15.8 or 15.9. But let's just predict now, and let's just see if everyone can try and get into that situation there. Good evening to, I think that's, how you doing, Lottie? How you doing, mate? You alright? Hope you're going well. Let's see what's happening in Q2 as well. I think that's Dutch Louis. How you doing, mate? You're alright. So let's have a look at Harry now, try and do his qualifying lap here. He's done a 27 flat here as well in that Williams car as well, and he has obviously on his debut race last week at the Belgian Grand Prix. If he can emulate what he can try and do in the race itself, this would be fantastic stuff. And he is currently the F1 leader. Sorry, in the F1 League, the Drivers' Championship leader as well. So we've got a couple of drivers who are in the F1 League as well. So obviously you want to try and beat everyone who joins this league as well at the same time. Don't you think, mate?
Yeah, you really do. I mean, because one week there can be a guy that's just trying to scrounge around for 10th place, and then the next week you could be racing him for a podium. So definitely no one in this series is out of contention for a win, as we see Harry B setting the first lap of a 1:16.306 in that Williams. Looks like he's on the soft tires there. So we're going to start to see more times filing in. Nightshade's 1:19.199. Must have had a not so great lap there for Nightshades that time around.
No, he didn't. He must have made a massive mistake there. It looks like O'Steven's done the same thing, a 17 flat there as well. So some of the drivers are gambling on the medium tyres already in this qualifying Q2 here. So let's see how what happens here from everyone's point of view here as well. Let's see. Oh, Sab's going back into the pits there. Just watching it from his point of view here. Looks like Roy Boy is in the medium tyres as well. Cliffy's done a 16.9 on the medium tyres. Cryptox done a 17 flat there. Roy Boy's done a 16.3 there on the medium tyres. So Roy Boy ain't messing about there on the medium tyres here at all.
No, he is not. That is a very quick time. So close to Harry B. And Scopefielder now fastest. A 1:15.502 on the soft tires there. So Scopefielder showing that he's going to have some speed here today. And when you got a lot of medium tires lining up behind you, those soft tires could very well help you out. However, it's not, the soft tires are not really going to last that long around this racetrack, so they're going to have to be very careful of that. I would expect to see them pit within the first 10 laps or so if they start on the soft tires like that.
Absolutely, and I think our prediction of a 15.8 to 15.9 could be a little bit scrapped because of some of the drivers gambling on the medium tyres as well. So, from everyone's point of view here, Tim, I think we're going to have an exciting race from everyone's point of view here throughout this qualifying that we've seen so far. And Matty has done a 1:16.3 as well, so it's just go ahead of Roy Boy by 100th of a second there. So fair play to him on that as well. So far in the qualifying, from what you saw, with majority of the drivers gambling on the medium tyres here, who's been the one that you would expect to hit the top 10? But try, obviously not aiming for pole position, but try and get inside that top 10 as much as possible here.
Well, I'm going to say that Scott Bugner is going to really have to, climb that uphill battle there to try to get into the top 10, because he's in there now with a 1:17.088, but he doesn't really seem like he has stellar pace here today.
Yeah, I expect him to. I wouldn't be surprised if he gambled to go on on the soft tyres here, but that just all depends how he can try and push on here as well. So it will all depend on what strategy he's going to try and do around here. Dutch Lewis says, yes, I'm doing fine, and yeah, we're doing very well, thank you. And he says he's missing IRL, Invictus Racing League. Hopefully he'll be back in the leagues, hopefully sooner rather than later here. So Sab and Jamie are the only ones who have got no time at all, but we're watching Sab here. So what time do you think Sab here can do here in the Mercedes car here, Tim?
Well, we're going to wait and see. I'd say that it's going to be somewhere around the high 116s. Jamie Ryan, of course, on his outlap, and he has selected the medium tires. So we'll see what kind of times both of these drivers can do. So far, those two, along with Nightshades, are the ones below the cutoff line with just over 8 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Oh,
yeah, and absolutely. Sab has already gone invalidate his lap here after turn 4 there, so he'll be absolutely fuming at that. So he's going to try and go through the chicane party. He'll probably have to let Jamie through in a moment or two. So, who are you watching so far here, Tim?
Still riding on board with Jamie. So, he is rounding out the final corner here. About to go on to the front straightaway. He invalidated his outlap, but thankfully for him, it was just the outlap. Crossing the line now, everything is A-OK. Heading down to turn number 1 is that number 47 Ferrari of Jamie Ryan. And as I said, on the medium tires, we'll see what he can do. A lot of drivers gambling, trying to go for that reverse strategy. Let's see if it works out for him. Heading down to turn number 2, Jamie Ryan with a very smooth line through there. He rocketed up to about P3 in Q1, so let's see if he can do the same here today. Now he's approaching that blind left-hander to turn number 4, and he just about nails it, a little bit loose off the exit, but he's able to hang on to it. So Jamie Ryan, good form there. Now approaching this little chicane, let's see what he can do. First corner good, second corner good. A-OK for Jamie Ryan. This is the second sector. Let's see if he can go quickest or not. It's rounding the final bit of it. Just a couple more corners to go in this second sector. And as he crosses the detection line, now he is not the quickest in the second sector. So this will not be a pole lap for Jamie Ryan, but let's see just what he can get on those medium tires as he has 2 more corners to go.
Let's see how he can try and do it through there. Looks like Sab has retired already with 6 minutes left of the qualifying itself. We'll have to wait and see how Jamie can try and do it on his medium tyres. He's done a 17.2 here, Tim. A 17.2. And looks like someone's just shot themselves up into third. And that, I believe, is O'Stephen. So well done to O'Stephen at the moment here with 1:16.1. However, that will be on the soft tyres as well. Harry did a 15.6. Scope did a 15.5. So the top 2 drivers from the F1 League, they're battling out here for Q2 pole position here at the moment here. But it's been absolutely epic here at this Q2 scenario here. Good evening to Dan DeViris. How you doing, mate? You alright? Hope you're going well. Let's see. Let's have a look at Nightshade, actually. Let's see what time he would do. Oh, he's 8 tenths slower on there, so that might have been his time. They were 116.7 on his qualifying lap. So, at the moment, yellow flag sector 2 here, Tim. So, you've just seen the times. You see what's going to happen, that we was over-expected our prediction times of the cut-off point. So, what do you think the cut-off point will be now, considering what you've seen the times now, Tim?
I think it's what we're seeing right now, that it's going to be about a 1:17.0. Jamie Ryan invalidated his lap that time around, so he's going to pull into the pits. Of course, that was going to be his second flying lap if he had decided to go ahead and cross the line, but he did not. Just over 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in this session. So some of these drivers behind the cutoff line, like Scott Bugner, Jamie Ryan, and even Cryptox, I think would behoove them to go out for one more lap on soft tires to try to get a nice fast lap time, especially Jamie Ryan and Scott. Cryptox, he's just kind of there. He's already set a time on the soft tires. He might not have anything left in the tank. But if he's wanting to advance into Q number 3, he's going to have to get out there sooner.
Absolutely. It looks like Scott, he's retired on track here. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, he's crashed. Scott has crashed at just after turn 13 there. So, a bit of a shock there from Scott Bugner, who I expected to hit to the top 10 here tonight, but hopefully he'll bounce back. He might have a good strategy here to try and do well here in the qualifying itself. Cryptox has retired in the session here on 10th place, so let's see how everyone can try to do. So at the moment here, Cryptox is saying that he's alright with 10th place, but he's forgot that Jamie is still in 12th place and could outscore Cryptox in the top 10 here, so he's just coming out here now. Let's have a look at Cliffy. Cliffy has done a 15.8. That's a cracker of a time there. Let's have a look at Rymac now. Rymac is doing his out lap, shall we say. So, looking at this now here, Tim, I'm quite impressed with, obviously, with O'Stephen at the moment here. Obviously, Scopefield, the Drivers' Championship runner-up from last season as well. Them two are doing really well here, but with O'Stephen pushing on here, I expect him to go for it here for Q3 if it stays like this here, Tim.
Yeah, and O'Stephen really doing a good job. You normally don't see him up there in the qualifying sessions or in the races, but he's going to be there today, it looks like. And on his out lap now, so he's going to try for one more time around this racetrack. Apparently he feels like he's got a little bit more left in that thing, so we'll see what he can do. So currently his best time is a 1:16.125, so I don't think that he's at risk of missing the race after the drivers behind him get out and make a lap, or missing in the Q3, but I do think that he is in danger of dropping close to the cutoff line if he doesn't improve that time just a little bit.
I think he'll be safe. For me personally, I think he'll be safe, but it all depends on how Jamie and Rymac can try and do it as well. Obviously, he'll definitely be safe anyway, regardless. Anyway, because you've got Rymac and Jamie Ryan trying to push on here as well. And Rymac has invalidated his lap here as well during his qualifying lap here. It looks like Harry has retired with a 15.6, so he's comfortable with that as well. So at the moment here, Matty has retired as well. So is that James? No, it was Nightshade who was just doing his lap in here. I'm just watching Jamie try and do his lap in here. He's 4 tenths quicker. So at the moment, 16.8 as things stand. So he would move up to 10th place. But it all depends if he can hook that soft tyre lap here as well. He's coming through the chicane part here as well with 1 minute 30 left of the qualifying here. He's trying to push that car up to the limit here as well. So let's see what he can try and do here through the tricky S's parts here as well. A purple 1.3 seconds here. So at the moment, he could hit the 15s. At the moment, he could hit the high 15s here. As things stand, and he was purple on second sector. So could he be the new pole sitter? We'll have to wait and see. So Scopefield has retired, so he's comfortable with that as well. Let's see how Jamie can try and do this now. He's coming up to the bit now. Oh, beautiful lap there from Jamie there. So O'Stephen moves up to 4th place, stays in 4th place with a 15.6, but misses out by 100th to Harry there for 3rd place here. So Rymac will be holding on in 10th place there. I believe that is what you see. So let's see what's happening here from everyone's point of view. 30 seconds left. Not quite, but we would like to see what time they would do and what time we would expect them to hit in the qualifying. But from what I could see here, Tim, the clouds are getting even darker here. But we've not heard anything from the weather crew yet.
I've noticed that too, and I was almost wondering if we were going to have a wet qualifying session, but so far everything is dry. Not sure about what's going to happen during the race, but we still have one more qualifying session to go, and a few more drivers, actually most drivers, to still set a time in this final session here. So currently watching Roy Boy, he's in 7th, a 1:16.342 is his best time, so he's going to try to improve on that. And it looks like Cryptox, Scott Bugner, Sab are going to be the ones that are out of this session. So Rymac doesn't have anything to worry about. Nightshades doesn't have anything to worry about. It's just a matter of who is going to be faster for bragging rights, really, because the real telltale is the Q3 times.
Absolutely, absolutely. But with the way the weather it is, because obviously the track will be not heated up too much, it will be a little bit colder as well. Let's see how... Oh! Cliffy has got pole position there by a 10th there to beating Jamie Ryan for pole in Q2 here. So Cliffy could be the one to try and get a good position here. But have you noticed this here, Tim? The top 5 in the softs, the bottom 5 in the top 10 are on the medium tyres here as well.
I did not notice that, but that's going to make things interesting in the race, especially once that running order sort of gets shuffled around a little bit.
Absolutely. We'll have to find out what happens here in the race. That'll be quite tasty from everyone's point of view to see where they're going to be in the positions here as well. So hero classification for Q2 for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League at the Hungarian Grand Prix here. Cliffy in first, Jamie in second, Scub in third, Harry in fourth, Stephen fifth, Matty in 6th, Roy Boy 7th, Mike in 8th, Nightshades in 9th, Rymac in 10th, Cryptox, Scott and Sab are outside of the top 10 and they will not advance into Q3. But yeah, interesting stuff here as well. So if you liked what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. It would be massive help here as well.
And it looks like we do have a wet qualifying session for Q3 at the very least. That is definitely rain falling in that F1 paddock.
You are definitely right there. We was wondering, the way the clouds were coming in, could we see the wet qualifying? Now, this is quite interesting, but don't get me wrong, I reckon there'll be quite a few drivers who are going to come out here straight away with the tyres on the softs quickly before the track gets even wetter. And look at that, there's about 3 cars already. The 2 Ferraris already out here, and looks like Scott and Harry are already out here as well. But we'll watch it from Harry's point of view here. We've not heard anything from the race officials here to say that DRS is disabled here, so they could be lucky. They could be very lucky here. This could be make or break in the next few minutes here. Not at the end. Could be the next point of view here for the positions here. This is quite interesting here, and now Scub's trying to get that slipstream off Harry here in his outlap to try and make sure he can keep it up here as well. So here you are, top 3 predictions. What's your expectations for the top 3 now, Tim?
Oh boy, now that is going to be a difficult one. Honestly, I can't even tell you because there's so many variables going on as far as, you know, who got out soon enough on the dry tires to actually have a good lap, and how hard is this rain going to go on and for how long, because the track's just going to get worse from here unless it stops raining. Scopefielder's slowing down now as he's just going to give Harry a nice gap before he starts his flying lap. So Harry crosses the line to start his flying lap now. Scopefielder following closely behind. They both head down into turn number 1, and let's see how they're able to take this corner. It could be a bit of a disaster. It might not be, but so far it looks okay. Scopefielder, a very smooth line through there, a perfect racing line through that corner. Of course, Harry just in front of him, also having a smooth corner there in turn number 2. Now let's see how they take this blind left-hander, this turn number 4 up here. It's going to be very difficult even in the dry, so let's see how they do it in the wet. So far, Harry did pretty good. Scope Filter, does he do the same? He did. He got through it A-okay. Both drivers still chugging along.
Absolutely, this is nerve-wracking stuff here. We're on the edge of our seats here for Q3 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. Who do you think will get in the top 3 here tonight? Will it be Harry? Will it be Scope? Could it be Cliffy? Could it be one of the drivers here in the top 10 to pull off a magnificent pole position time here? And obviously this is crucial. This track is definitely crucial here. Obviously Harry's got purple on second sector at the moment here, so he will cross the line first. Whatever happens here during this session here, but let's see what time he will emulate here. Might be 16.5, 16.4. Well, where's Scope? 16.8, 16.8. Rymac has moved up to pole position there. The Ferrari of Nightshades, the 116.3 there. Where's Jamie? Jamie's coming up to there now. He moves up to 16.5 in 4th place here. Looks like Stephen. 16.7 there. Looks like Cliffy about to do his lap in here. Roy Boy's to 15.7 there as well. Just watching where Mike is, or possibly, or just watching Matty actually. Matty trying to push on here in the second sector here. He does not get purple on second sector here. This could be, if he can get into the top 4, top 5, this will be a magnificent qualifying here. As perfectly there. We've got coming up to the 8-minute marker here as well. Just one of the drivers just letting the others through. That might be Scope. Letting some of the drivers through. Coming up to the DRS straight here now for Matty. 17.2. So he's done something wrong there during that lap there. Tim.
Yeah, and currently just watching Roy Boy. Of course, he's already set his lap time. Cliffy now watching him. He's in the second sector of the track. So far, everything looking good. Let's see what Cliffy can do. This is going to be his first time lap. Looks like Mike is just at a 128.3. Cliffy looking like he's struggling a little bit, so that track's probably getting a lot wetter and a lot more slick.
We'll have to wait and
see.
2
more corners to go for Cliffy.
Yeah, sorry, I thought he was carrying on there, Tim, from that point of view there. We'll come up to the last few corners here now for Cliffy. Let's see what he can try and do. He's come up to, he's just probably save his fuel, try to do another lap here. 16.7, a 16.7 there for Cliffy there. So at the moment here, Roy Boy could be on for his second podium in the qualifying head-to-heads this season here. Obviously, we've got one more qualifying overall, and that'll be in 2 races' time there as well at the Russian Grand Prix as well. So that will be the last qualifying, full-on qualifying for this season. But at the moment here, Cliffy has already got 2 qualifying positions this season. Roy Boy's got the 1, I believe. So, but obviously, looking at those times there, I can't see Cliffy getting to pole position here. Can you, Tim?
No, I don't see him getting to pole position at all. He actually slowed down after he set his lap time, so he's definitely not going for a pole position. He's just trying to conserve his tires at this point. Absolutely. But it just all depends on what he can try and do here through his qualifying scenario as well. And be interesting to see if it's going to be we've not heard anything else from the weather crew. We're just, from what we see, is what we're going to get. So could it be? Would we love to see a wet to dry, or probably a dry to wet race scenario here in the race? We'll have to wait and see from this point of view here as well. 5 minutes 45 left of the qualifying here at the Invictus Racing League, at the Hungarian Grand Prix here as well. At the moment here, Roy Boy is in first. Nightshade is in second place as well. Rymac is in third. Harry is in fourth. Jamie is in 5th place here. Stephen is in 6th. Cliffy is in 7th. Scope is in 8th. Matty is in 9th. Mike, who we just watched in the stream here, with 10th place with a 118.121. From the rain looks like it's slowly getting building now. I can't see anyone getting better on that time. Can you, Tim? I don't either, honestly. I'm surprised that no one has even retired from the session yet. because, wow, Rymac getting very loose out of the penultimate corner that time around. Hung on to it. This is on his outlap, of course, so he's not losing any time there. But Rymac obviously thinks that he can go a little bit faster, so he's going to try to go for it. But I agree, Malc, that there's really not going to be anyone that's going to go faster than Roy Boy, I don't think, because the rain looks like it has picked up a little bit since the beginning of the session, and that doesn't take into consideration the fact that the track is just a lot more wet. So there's not as much grip as maybe there would be in a dry track, and there definitely isn't as much grip as there was when the session even started. So Roy Boy was just able to capitalize on the situation as soon as he could, and Rymac went very wide out of turn number 4. Wasn't going fast enough to get a time penalty for track limits, but any chance he had at a pole lap is now officially gone.
Absolutely. It looks like Rymac and Nightshades, I don't know if they are pushing to the limit here, will probably slow down here, but he was 2/10 slower there, Rymac, in that first sector, as you said, drifting way wide there as well. And hopefully, yellow flag, sector 2. Who is that? That is Scope. Yes, Scope. He must have made a mistake here through the chicane part there, massively there. So that will cost him massively there as well. So has he lost a bit of his front wing as well? I couldn't tell. If he hasn't, he's been very lucky. It looks like he hasn't lost any front wing damage, so he's been really lucky there. Just have a look at, well, Jamie's has watched it from Jamie's point of view here as well. The rain is slowly picking up. And obviously the car is going to be absolutely mad here as well. This is why I said the start of the Q3 would have been pretty much the end of Q3 of that situation here, unless anyone can try and push on here. I wouldn't be surprised if people gamble for like the intermediates just to get a feel in case if it does start to wet a bit. But obviously, from this situation here, I know there's 2 minutes 45 left, and I don't think anyone would do it, but it will be good to feel to see the scenario here, what they're going up against in the Hungarian ring. And obviously, what we never mentioned about during the race, during the session here, Tim, the only overtake that you can only do majority of the time is the start-finishing line straight. So unless you do some dramatic overtaking through the first sector, second sector, and the last bit of the third sector, there's no other place, is there, really?
No, not really, because there is that little DRS just out of turn number 1. But unless you've already have a pass halfway completed, you're really not going to make a lot of moves. I mean, sometimes you might be able to get lucky, or you might be able to get a good run on somebody to where the DRS will give you just enough speed to kind of send it into the corner and make the move. But you're putting yourself and other drivers at a lot of risk there at ruining a race. And even if you don't ruin the race, it doesn't mean that you're going to get the pass completed, because as I said, that's almost a useless DRS zone in general. It's just such a short little straightaway that there's not much that you can do with it. And as far as the rest of the track goes, it's mainly just a lot of long sweeping corners, which aren't good for overtaking in the first place.
Absolutely. And you can see dramatic overtakes. I have seen it happen in all my time in the commentating career. I've seen a few overtakes where you would never expect it through the S's parts as well, in the second sector, the chicane part as well, turn 5 as well, where they can try and go through the inside there as well. Manic stuff there as well. Let's just seeing that Mike would have been 6:17.4. He would have been 6/10 quicker, and he probably did get 6/10 quicker there as well, so he has improved his time massively there as well. So let's see what happens here from everyone's point of view here as well. Obviously, majority of the drivers have all retired because they're not going to improve. Roy Boy, O'Stephen and Schofield are also out on the track here as well to see if they can try and slowly improve their times as well. But who's been your best driver of the qualifying so far?
So far, I think I'm going to have to go with the easy choice and give it to Roy Boy. He was able to get out there just in time to have a good lap. So definitely going to say Roy Boy's doing good. And also, look at the time difference between him and second place of Nightshades. It's a 1:16.3 for Nightshades and a 1:15.787 for Roy Boy. Excuse me, that's actually a 7:6 7 for Roy Boy.
Don't worry, I'll let you off there just for tonight here, Tim, with the timing stuff here as well. Qualifying, and it's now stopped. Qualifying's now stopped. Scope and O'Stephen are the only ones left on track here. O'Stevens did practice on the intermediates, which I did not expect anyone to try and do, but his back end just went there. So obviously the track is getting even wetter as well. He's trying to do the absolute drift moments here as well, and he's trying to push on as well and try and get the feel of the track here as well. And it's probably the setup is not going to be suitable for the wet conditions here, and he's just trying to be careful there through the S's part there as well. And you can tell there that he'll be hoping that it doesn't rain to start off with in the race itself here as well. So this is interesting stuff here. So yeah, we've finished the qualifying for Q3. We're just waiting for O'Stephen to finish off, and we will do the actual official qualifying classification in a moment or two from there. So Stephen's just trying to go through the last corner, turn 14 now, and through the DRS section there as well, and that will be it for Q3 and the whole of Q qualifying as well. So yeah, Stephen got 6th place, so fair play to him, who's been struggling. Like I said, overall he's been struggling, not only in this league but in the F4 League as well, but hopefully he'll bounce back as well. So well done to him on that. Here are your qualifying classification, official one for the top 10 for Q3 for the Hungarian Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. You've got Roy Boy in first place, second qualifying pole position of the season. Well done to him. Nightshades is in second. Rymac, well done to him, fair play to him, in third place. Harry in fourth. Jamie in fifth. O'Stephen in sixth. Cliffy in seventh. Scope in eighth. Matty in ninth. And Mike, XSI, is in 10th place. We're just going to do the usual advertisements in a moment or two, and then I'll be talking to Tim about what he would try and do and what would be the expectations of the top 3 here in the race here tonight. We're just going to try and find out what he's going to start off with, and then we'll do it in a moment or two. So yeah, it looks dry. So this is the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, live exclusive on the YouTube channel as well, with myself, Malc and Tim, for the Performance League every Thursday night at between 7:45 and 8 o'clock, depending on if it's the full qualifying or the reverse grid scenario here as well. But tonight it is the full qualifying that you've just witnessed as well. We'll have to find out from everyone's point of view as well. It looks like one of the drivers has left the session. It looks like O'Stephen has been booted, I believe. Well, hopefully he'll be back on in a moment or two. For carrying on with the social media side, we've also got, in the YouTube side, we've also got the F1 League. It feels like the Premier League, the top flight of the division, with the fastest drivers in the league here on the Monday nights with Gareth and Sab at Mondays at 8 PM. You also got Harry, who's in here as well tonight with Sab as well. Harry and Scott as well. They do the F2 League as well. They do a cracking job as well. For F3, you got Rymac and Jakob for there, and also Jake, and I believe another newcomer for the commentator that was joined last night. But obviously, for now, Jake does the F4 League on the Wednesday nights at 8 PM. We'll just see how it goes there as well. So Xbox, they're on the Sunday nights at 9:30 on the Twitch channel. Not only that, but they're also on the Xbox F2 on Tuesday nights as well at 8 PM, same time as the PS4 F2 League as well. For the first time this season as well, we also got the PC League live exclusive on the Wednesday nights as well, on the YouTube channel as well. So make sure you tune in on that as well. We also not only got YouTube and Twitch, we also got the other social media sites of Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. So make sure you like, follow and subscribe as well. That's all we ask for, guys. That's all we ask for. And the most important thing of all is, why don't you check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com? If you're not sure, like if you want to join in and you've seen the qualifying and you want to get involved and try and join in the Invictus Racing Leagues, why don't you join the site at invictusracingleague.com and finally apply to race form, fill it out. One of the admins will get in contact with you and might join you in a trial run to see if you're capable of competing in the leagues. If you are, you might be joined in one of the leagues in the next week or so, depending on reserves as well. So we're just waiting for some more confirmation to see if everything is all okay. But it looks like we might have some problems here, but we'll get that confirmation there in a moment too. But for your side here, Tim, it looks like it's going to be a dry start here, but I would have loved to have seen it as a neutral's point of view. Would have loved to have seen a wet start here, to be fair.
A wet start would have made it very interesting, but I think that it's going to be better for a dry race, at least for the drivers anyway. But I'm sure that there's a few out there that would have preferred a wet race, because sometimes you'll talk to a driver and they'll say that they actually do prefer driving in the wet because they just seem to have better pace. So it's actually a very interesting to see just how the different driving styles get along with each driver and each track that we go to. But as you said, just waiting for the drivers to line up and start their formation lap. Not sure exactly what the holdup is, but here momentarily we will be going green for the Invictus Racing League Performance League Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like one of the drivers cannot get back into their car after got booted off from the session here, so hopefully we'll find out in a moment or two if we have to restart here. It looks like Lewis is already started, but we need to know as soon as, because it looks like Steven cannot get back into his car. Hopefully he'll get back in as quickly as possible here, but it would be a shame if he can't get back in. So let's just see from everyone's point of view here as well, and just waiting for the last bit of the drivers to build it up. So just waiting for some more classification, but obviously Steven, I don't know if he can try and get back into his car here. So it looks like the Sab has left. So we will be doing the restart of the session here, but it looked like it would be a dry start here, whatever happens here. So we're very sorry for technical difficulties here, guys. We will get the race started in a moment or two. Once we do that, we will try and have a classic race at the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. So Tim, while we're waiting for the invites here, what do you think? What's your strategy here if you're a Roy boy and trying to defend against Nightshades and Ryan Mack here as well? What do you think he needs to do here to stop those two on charge at turn one?
I think that if I'm Roy Boy, that I'm just going to try to have the best turn one that I possibly can. Got to get that good start to get a good jump off the line. And then otherwise, it's just a matter of defending. You got to be really careful going into turn number two. A lot of people try to fill in the gaps there and make some moves that maybe are a little bit impatient for early on in the race. So Roy Boy going to have to be careful. But after turn number two, if he's still in the lead, he should be okay at least for a while until the DRS starts to activate and come into play. Absolutely.
We're just going to go into the new lobby and we will kick off in a moment or two, guys. So don't go anywhere. Get a quick drink. We're about to start the race in about a few moments' time. Just waiting for the lobby to kick off. And we will kick off in probably about five minutes' time, all being well. So don't go anywhere, guys. Don't go anywhere as well. So we're just trying to make sure we get that ready here. So we're just, while we're waiting for the lobby to set up again, but yeah, we're just waiting for some more confirmation. But like I said, with everyone's point of view here, Tim, I can't wait to see what's going to happen here from everyone's point of view. What tyre wear? It will be a shame now because the tyre wear that the top 10 have started on, it's pretty much they've got like equal tyres now because of this.
Yeah, really they are. So, the admins are trying to figure all that out right now, actually. Still waiting to actually be able to come over to the new lobby, so just still waiting on that. But at least this gives the drivers a time to kind of think a little bit more about strategy if they haven't already. I hope by now that they would have, but it's just kind of giving them a nice little breather.
Absolutely. We're just trying to see when it's going to start, and hopefully we'll get it in about a few minutes' time. But from the qualifying that we saw there, Tim, we did absolutely perfectly. That we saw some great P1s from Roy Boy as well. Obviously, his second podium in the qualifying scenario this season here in the Performance League, and matching with Cliffy as well. I was very surprised with with the standings as well. Obviously, Roy Boy, his only win was back in. Let me just bear with me a sec. His last win was back in Abu Dhabi, which was in race 5. We're in race 9. So, and he's already had a podium as well. Another one, which is 6, which is in race 6, which was in Monaco as well. So, and obviously Cliffy is the one to watch here because he's had 3 wins. 1 second, 1 third, and obviously 3 outside of the top 3 as well. So, I can't see anyone. I can't see anyone challenging Cliffy unless obviously, because Scott. Don't get me wrong. I forgot to say Scott is done 2 seconds in the last 2 races, and that's impressive stuff from him. 2 seconds in the last 2 races, and that is massive for him as well. Could he get a 3rd second? It'll be a bit of a push. It'll be a massive push. The way that he started outside the top 10 as well. So if he does, that'll be immense stuff. But do you think he'll do it here, Tim?
I really cannot say. It's already been such a crazy race event, and really we haven't even gotten into the official race, so I say that time is just going to have to tell on that one. But, of course, we are now in the new lobby, just waiting for all the drivers to come in and for the admins to appropriately set up the starting grid, and then we will be ready to go. So it's not going to be too long now. Going to come at you 35 laps from the Hungaroring very shortly.
Absolutely. Bit of a form book. As I said, mentioned about Scott's... let's just try and get his name here. Scott, who's got 2 seconds on the bounce here with 2... in the last 2 races here at the Canadian and the Belgian Grand Prix. Could it be his 3rd, 2nd place, or even better? We'll have to find out there from his point of view. Let's have a look at Cliffy. So Cliffy is the man to beat here because he has got 2 wins out of 3, but he has got the last 3 races in guaranteed podium as well. But yeah, it's have to wait and see. He did get the best qualifying lap in Canada as well. He did get pole position as well in Canada as well. So it all depends. It all depends on how Cliffy can try and keep his cool, keep his momentum here as well. And like I said, anyone here could win the Hungarian Grand Prix. But it all depends on how these guys can try and push on. That is the big question. You've got fresh tyres now for the top 10, which will be a massive disadvantage for the guys who miss out on the top 10 as well. But also, with this, obviously, the strategy to go for is the soft hards. You can do soft medium, or soft medium, but obviously, you would do that if you guarantee that there's going to be a full-on, probably about 2 safety cars around here. Now, from our experience here as well here, Tim, I think the safety cars around here is probably about an average of between 1 and 2 normal safety cars, not the virtual safety cars, but just on average 1 to 2 safety cars around here as well. Do you think we were guaranteed to have the safety car around here?
No, I don't think that we're guaranteed to have the safety car. It is a possibility, especially on the first lap, because as I said, turn 2 is pretty much like Calamity Corner at the beginning of these races at the Hungaroring. So if it happens, I would imagine that it's going to happen somewhere around there. But by no means do I think that it's a guarantee, because if they can get through the first few corners cleanly, then what will likely happen is that the race will start to spread out a little bit, and then any incidents that happen within the field won't be enough to really justify having a safety car. Absolutely.
It's a bit iffy on that point of view there as well, but Stevens says 2-stop is a no-go around here. I would have said the reason why we said 2-stop, and the reason why I said that is because it was just hoping that the safety car, if the safety car is causing the situation, if the hard tyres or one of the tyre wear is not great. Obviously, Hungarian Grand Prix, the track is not great with the tyre wear situation as well. I believe the softs can last about 10 laps. The mediums can last about 20 laps, just about over 20 laps. But obviously, with the hard tyres, it can last about throughout the remainder of the race, probably about 33 laps around it, but you will lose out massively. I had to do a 1-stop around here on pit 5 after I made a mistake at turn 5, and then go the hards all the way. So 30 laps of the hard tyres. That's going to be impressive stuff, but that was just the strategy that I had to do. I had no choice in the F4 League. But from everyone's point of view, and with the tyre wear, and obviously with the car allocations as well, I expected the Red Bull to do well here. Obviously with the wets didn't help in the Q3 here, Tim, but with Mike and Matty in the Red Bull as well, in the car allocated scenario here for the next 2 races here. So what does Mike and Matty have to do? Because they did start in 9th and 10th respectively here.
Mike and Matty are just going to have to hang on, because they're going to be right in the thick of it. We have 17 drivers racing here tonight, so they're pretty much in the dead center of the field. They're just going to have to hang on and try to bide their time, be patient, working their way up through the field if they're going to want to get a good points day and possibly a podium. I'm actually surprised that Matty is starting that far back, because he was very fast in the first session of qualifying. So I'm surprised to see that the Red Bull driver really didn't have a good Q2 and Q3 as maybe we would have thought he would have, but he still made it to Q3, so that in itself is important. So he does have some pace around here.
Absolutely, but again, it all depends on the weather situation. It looked like it was a bit dry to start with, but we would have loved to have seen a wet start and keep on going to see if these guys can try and hold on with that car as well. But if you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. We are having a bit of a restart of the session, not the qualifying, not the full-on qualifying again. We're going to go straight to the race. The qualifying was already done with the full qualifying, with Roy Boy on his second qualifying pole position of the season in first. I think it was Nightshades who got second. Yeah, Nightshades got second. Rymac got third as well, so that is still impressive stuff there as well. And obviously that was pretty much a bit of a shock overall, because obviously Roy Boy did do well in Q1 here, but obviously everyone was panic with the qualifying scenario, because it was starting to rain in Q3 just slowly, and you had to get a perfect 1 lap position time, and Roy Boy did that absolutely perfectly there, Tim.
Yeah, he really did, and, you know, as you said, because it rained, it was really just a matter of who got lucky, who got out there at just the right time, and Roy Boy was able to do that, and had about 3 or 4 tenths of a second over second place of Nightshades. So Roy Boy is going to be looking to try to walk away with this thing. We'll see what happens as soon as they get the grid. lined up and ready, of course, and it looks like we're about to go to the paddock now, so about 5 seconds there, so that is good to see. Finally, we will be able to get this race underway.
Oh, come on. We want to see some classic overtakes at this difficult overtake track, except for the start finishing line straight. That's the only overtake that we could see that you could do. But obviously, what we see in F1 in the real life, you can get an overtake out of nowhere at unexpected corners there as well. And I cannot wait for this. I really cannot wait for this Hungarian Grand Prix. So while we're waiting for the drivers to get themselves set up, we'll give you a bit of an update of the driver standings. So obviously Cliffy is in first with 151 points. Moreno is in second with 124 points. Unfortunately, he cannot race tonight. He could not make it tonight. Scott Buckner is in third with 117 points. So whatever happens here tonight, whatever position he finishes, he could get up to second place, depending on how he does. Scopefield is in fourth with 112 points. Nightshades is in fifth with 94 points. O'Steven is in sixth with 93 points. Cryptox is in seventh with 89 points. Nitrogash is in 8th with 86 points. Roy Boy is in 9th with 76 points. Niels Barster is in 10th with 67 points. And the rest are under 67 points. Obviously, we come up to the final 4 races, including this here, Tim. Obviously, you've missed out on a few of the races here, but the races that you commentate on with me during the season, what's been your best highlight or best moment so far?
That honestly has got to be a tricky one. However, I do remember when we were doing the full qualifying at the British Grand Prix that the qualifying in itself was actually very intense, and we just kept going back and forth wondering who was going to get the pole, because the pole was just changing hands like they were playing hot potato with the lap times. Absolutely,
and it was good to see everyone battling out left, right, centre here to try and win that momentous first position at the Performance League as well, and it will be absolutely epic here as well. We're just waiting for the guys to get themselves slowly built up and ready to go. We're just going to give you a little bit more of the social media side again before we start. As I said, we're on the YouTube channel live exclusive here on the Thursday nights with the Performance League with myself, Malc and Tim. We've also got the F1 League on PS4 with Gareth and Sab. Sab is racing with us tonight. They're both the commentators for the F1 League, the top flight, the Premier League division, the fastest drivers there is. So let's see what happens there. So F2, you got Harry and Scott here, both driving tonight, but they're the commentators for the F2 League on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. for the PS4 side. We also got a double helping of the PS4 League on Wednesday nights with the F3 and F4 League, with Rymac, who's also racing here tonight, and Jakob as well for F3, and Jake was in F4 as well. Not only we've got the PS4 League sides, we also got the Xbox League on the Sunday nights at 9:30 on the Twitch channel, Invictus Racing Leagues. So that is on there as well. We also got the F2 League on the same night as the Tuesday night F2 League on the PS4 on the YouTube, on the Twitch channel as well. Make sure you tune in on that. For the first time this season, we had the PC League as well, so that has been an absolute cracker as well. And I believe Scope, who's raced in there as well, and also Mr. Skyzoo, the former winner of the Performance League for the four seasons running, when we've been commentating on, has won the Constructors as well. So fair play and congratulations to them as well. Also, as well, make sure you like, subscribe and follow to all the other social media sites of Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Please, please, please do that. It'd be a massive help for us. Massive, massive help. And for the final time, check out invictusracingleague.com as well. So yeah, I do apologise with the grid, the starting lineup on the left hand side. Oh no, I believe we've to wait and see from everyone's point of view. It looks like Roy Boy, he will be in first place. Nightshades in second. Roy Mac. I said Roy Boy. Roy Mac in third place. We also got Harry in fourth. We also got Jamie in fifth. We've got O'Stephen in sixth. Cliffy in seventh. Scope in eighth. Matty in ninth, Mike in 10th. Looks like Roy Boy has left the session, so hopefully he'll get back into his car before we start here. So they slowly build up here. Yeah, but yeah, it was just a bit weird from Roy Boy's point of view there. Hopefully he'll bounce back as well. Yeah, so Roy Boy has joined back as well. Hopefully he'll get back into his car. Looks like he has. And interestingly enough, so between 11th and 12th, between 11th and 17th place, 3 of the drivers have gambled on the medium tyres, where 4 of them have gambled for the hard tyres here. So that's very, very interesting here. So the guys are just gambling on to make sure they can go all the way to the end and try and change the tyres as well. But soft medium is going to be difficult, but it's definitely soft hards or medium hards is the way forward. Or hard softs or hard mediums. It all depends on how they can do around here. So, Tim, they're coming up to the racing grid now, so I'll let you do the honours as always.
And an honor it is each and every week, Malc. Seeing the drivers find their appropriate positions on the grid. And you know there's only one thing on their minds right now, and that is the race at hand. They all want to stand on the top spot of the podium, but only one can. The drivers, they're watching the lights. You hear those engine driving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League Performance League Hungarian Grand Prix. Roy Boy leading him down to turn number 1, but it looks like there's going to be a Ferrari trying to fill in that gap on the inside. A little bit of contact, jostling around for position, and the Williams takes the lead now. Looks like that's the Williams of Harry trying to take the lead.
Oh no, there's Nightshades. Nightshades has gone off at turn 1. Nightshades has gone off at turn 1. I don't know if there was any contact there, but it's been a manic start here for the Performance League as well. We're not sure what's happening here. But this has been absolutely unbelievable start here. I believe Roy Boy has left the car here, but Cryptox is trying to close in on Matty here and try and close on here as much as possible here. But at the moment here, Harry is, well, Matty's moved himself up, Roy Boy is dropped down. Looks like Harry has got into first place here, Tim.
Yeah, that he has. He took the lead going into turn number 1. He was able to get on the inside of Roy Boy and move by him. So Harry's starting to run away from Rimac in that Alpha Tauri now. And look at O'Stephen. He's having a good run so far in third place there. Yeah, absolutely. Jamie Ryan has just gone off at, I believe, turn 11 there. So I don't know if there was any contact there from anyone's point of view here as well. But he was driving, doing everything he can there as well. Hopefully he'll bounce back there as well. Harry's got the fastest lap at the moment here, 123.555 at the moment here. But let's see if O'Stephen can try and push on here with that Mercedes boys as well. Roy Boy says he wants an invite, so we'll try and invite you in back into the grid here, but I can't really do that on the stream here. But hopefully Tim can try and invite you back into the session here. But at the moment here, O'Stephen can try and push on here. Let's see what happens here from O'Stephen's point of view. It looks like Harry's trying to do everything he can here to hold on for first place here. It looks like Rymac's doing a magnificent job here at the moment here. So let's see how we'll try and do that. So Roy Boy is back himself up into the car here, so he'll drop himself down to 15th place here. So from a pole position there, due to issues with his car here, it's not a great start here for Roy Boy here, Tim. No, it really isn't, and that is not the kind of day that he needed to have today, but unfortunately that's just the way it's going. Luckily for him, and it's still early in the race, he can recover, but I'm not sure how much. However, it does look like now that Rimac is starting to have some issues. There's lockups happening every time he goes into the corner, so apparently the setup is just not quite right on that Alpha Tauri. And as you can see, he is losing a significant amount of time to Harry up there in first. Steven there in third, trying to chase down Rymac, but he actually has a mirror full of Cliffy in that Williams, so he's having something else to deal with. The points leader breathing down his neck.
Absolutely, you do not want to have any pressure at this moment in time there, but obviously Rymac is on the medium tyres here, so he's going to go long here, but Harry needs to try and get a good gap here to try, if he can get to try and get as big of a gap as possible here, or try and get as close to the pit stop window here. This will be a fantastic opportunity for Harry, who's on his second race overall of the season. Could this be the moment where Harry can try and get his first podium by the second race of his debut race, shall we say? But or say debut season, shall we say? It looks like Roy Boy's still got some technical issues with his car, so unfortunately probably won't be able to come back in. Let's see how Cliffy can try and do it on O'Steven here now. So the DRS should be active here. Let's see how O'Steven can try and do it through. We've got a couple of barrels behind Cliffy here. So let's look at it from Cliffy's point of view. He should have the DRS, and with the overtake mode here, it looks like O'Steven with that Mercedes gone shot off there massively there. And then coming up to turn one here now, he's try and hold on as well, Cliffy. And if he can try and keep within the DRS, there's been massive stuff there. Roybo's got the fastest lap of the race with 1:16.8. Nitric has just dropped down to 13th. Prime has moved up to 12th place here as well. So Tim, who are you watching so far?
Watching Cryptox, he went very wide out of the final corner, going onto the front straightaway now, going through turn number 3. He was right on the back of Scott Bugner. A little bit of distance between them now, though. Scott Bugner using that curb massively there. Not sure if that was a time penalty or not for Scott Bugner. I think he's A-OK. Might have been a warning, though. Vulcanus Prime, though, having a time penalty, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. But Cryptox running in the 8th position right now, trying to give chase to the Alfa Romeo of Scott Bugner. Scott Bugner has his sights set on that Red Bull of Matty, who's done a good job recovering to the 6th position so far. And now Cryptox, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Must have been a quarter cut that the stewards did not like.
Absolutely, and pressure moments here. As we said earlier on in the stream here, penalties could be cost massively here, especially. Can you imagine if you got all those penalties and then the safety car comes out near the end of the race? How would you feel with that, Tim? With that scenario?
I would be pretty mad, honestly, and wow, Cryptox goes wide once again out of the final corner, so he's really having some trouble there. That's going to allow Sab and the Mercedes to get underneath him going into turn number 1. They're side by side for 9, and oh, Mike hits Cryptox in the back. There is wing damage on that Red Bull, more than likely now, but that could have been so much worse.
It is worse. It could be worse there, actually, for Mikey. He was right there. He did lose a bit of his front wing on the left, on his Ryan plate there as well. Let's have a quick glance at Matty back up to Scope here. Oh my days, who's that? Steven trying to hold on here for 3rd place here. Cliffy in 4th place here. This is absolutely unbelievable racing here. It looked like they would go side by side there through turn 5 there. That would have been one hell of a move there from Cliffy there, Tim.
Yeah, it really would have. Cliffy, he knows what's at stake here. He knows that he can have a good points day, and he's just trying everything he can to do it.
Yeah, I think Roy Boy is still having issues joining back into the session here, so hopefully we'll try and get you back in as quickly as possible here. But let's see how, watching it from O'Steven's point of view here now, we've got about 7-car battle here for 3rd place here. I was getting ahead of myself there. We're coming up to turn 14 now. This will be DRS train galore here. Let's see how Cliffy can try and push on here from to O'Steven here. This should be absolutely unbelievable. Cliffy needs to try and make the move. He can't, with that Williams car. He can't do anything possible here. It looks like O'Steven's struggling with that soft tyres here. Roy Boy back up to 14th. Mine's dropped down to 15th here as well. But look at this here, Tim. 5 cars from O'Steven here for 3rd place here.
Yeah, and I've kind of been riding on board with Cliffy this whole time, just trying to see what Cliffy is seeing. And so far, O'Steven is doing a very good job at holding him off. I'm very much impressed with O'Steven and his pace that he has around this track today. O'Steven is normally not one that you will see fighting for a lot of podiums. He just seems to have trouble really finding the pace sometimes, but today he has found the pace, and he's doing a good job holding off the points leader. Cliffy, of course, just trying to bide his time back there and hang out and kind of see where O'Steven is weak. But the Haas of Scopebuilder is starting to close in on Cliffy as well. And, of course, he's got Matty behind him in that Red Bull. As you said, just about a 5-car battle for third position. It does not get more intense than this. And I know it looks like the cars are just running in a line, nose to tail, sort of like a train. But you got to understand that if you're the one actually driving that car, you are so very worried, because not only do you have to worry about whoever's in front of you and you trying to get by them, but you got to worry about the guys behind you trying to make moves. And speaking of moves, it looks like Sab was going to try to go on the inside of Scott Bugner, but he wasn't close enough to make a move. Meanwhile, Scott Bugner had a lockup going into turn number 1, so luckily not getting into the back of Matty there that time, but it could have been a lot worse. Probably not so good for his tires, though.
Absolutely. It looks like earlier on throughout this battle here, it looks like Scopebuilder has had enough of that train there. He's trying to do the undercut of the hard tyres here as well. Nitrogas moves up to 11th. Vienna is dropped down to 12th place here as well. Volcano's Prime, yellow flag, sectors 1 and 2. Virtual safety car. We have got the virtual safety car here. First virtual safety car of the session here as well. So, interesting stuff here. Obviously, if you're in the pits, this would be a massive boost to try. It feels like you got a free pit stop pretty much, but everyone all slowing down. They can't do anything about it as well. So I'm quite impressed with this train here at the moment, because backup live racing here now. But with this, obviously the overtake that you can only do around here, it's like the start finish line straight here. But this has been absolutely epic here. Looks like Harry's going to the pits. O'Steven's going to the pits now, but Cliffy's staying out. Cliffy is staying out here and try and get ahead here. It looks like Matty is going to try and make an overtake move here on Cliffy here, but it's a little bit too much behind there. It looks like the McLaren behind there might be Volcano's Prime trying to make a move here on Volcano's Prime there. By the looks of things here, it looks like Matty. Oh, that was close there for Matty. It looks like Scott nearly went to the back of Matty there, but Matty holding on for dear life here. Will Scott try and make the move here on Matty here? No, he wouldn't. He will try and be patient enough to try and make the move on the outside there at turn 4 there. But that was unbelievable stuff there, Tim.
Yeah, and there was even a little bit of contact there. So Scott Bugner just trying to regroup now, try to set up another pass around Matty, and it looked like he just about had it, but he just did not. And now Scott Bugner, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, just went a little bit too wide on that corner. And honestly, I don't think that was fair in the slightest bit. That was honestly a bit ridiculous if you ask me, and I'm sure that Scott Bugner has a lot more vulgar words to say about that. I'm sure he's not too happy at all, but he's got to regroup again and focus on trying to get to Matty. And wow, look at that. He got so very loose out of that corner. Scott Bugner, crazy loose, but did a good job of hanging on to it. That was insane.
It was very lucky there, because Sab is trying to push on here as well, but they're trying everything they can here. But Cryptox is trying to make the move here on Sab here for 4th place here as well. But Cliffy is now going to the pits now to try and push on here on the hard tyres here as well. Yeah, so fantastic battle here, galore here. Looks like Lewis could be having an opportunity of a lifetime here to try and make the move here on Cryptox here. But obviously, as you rightly said there, we're looking at a train of cars here at the moment. We want to try and see if anyone can try and make an ambitious move, a really good ambitious move out of nowhere here, to make it the bestest opportunity of a lifetime here to get some decent points here. Obviously, if you're in the Performance League, guys, any position that you finish, whether it's 17th, you will guarantee points. Obviously, if you're in first, you get massive loads of points there as well. But either way, it all depends. If you get a DNF, DSQ or anything like that you cannot carry on, you will not carry on and get any points at all. You only get them if you are active on track here. Tim?
Still watching this battle between Scott Bugner and YWE and Matty. It just looks like Scott's starting to slow down big time, and now it looks like apparently Harry B that last time around decided to pit. or at least one lap ago, did decide to pit. So Rymac, Maddie, Scott Bugner, your top 3 at the moment. Sab, Cryptox, your top 5. And just about everyone is on the medium or hard tires. We only have one driver on the softs. That is Mike in the Red Bull down there in 14th position. And Rymac now with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So if I was a betting man, I would say that that was in turn number 4, judging by where he is on the track right now. So Rymac having some trouble there in that terrible corner, and even going through the grass that time around, but hanging on to it. So I'm almost wondering if the handling in that car just is not working, because we saw a lot of lockups from him early on in the race, and now it just looks like it's very unstable. So Rymac definitely struggling, but he's leading while struggling, so far having a decent day.
Absolutely, and that's what you need. Looks like for Kenneth Prime has got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings here. It looks like Cliffy back up to 10th place. Roy Boy drops down there. Scope is 2 tenths off behind 11th place there as well. But still, on lap 11 of 35 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, Rymac in first, Matty in second, Scott in third, Sab in fourth, Cryptox fifth, Lewis, who we're watching live exclusive here, on 6th place, Focus Prime in 7th, Nitrogash in 8th, Harry in 9th, Clippy in 10th, Scope in 11th, O'Stephen 12th, Royboy 13th, Mike 14th, Jamie Ryan in 15th, Vienna 16th, and Nightshades in 17th place. Tim.
And going to go down and take a look at Vulcanus Prime, because he's starting to gain in on Lewis, 11.004 there. Lewis, of course, running in 6th place, and a lockup there, who is also, he's gaining on Cryptox now, but Lewis is really dancing with that car, riding on board with him now. I can see what he's doing with the wheel, and he was dancing that time around. So Cryptox using a lot of curve there, Lewis using a lot of curve, getting a little bit loose, and also he's on those hard tires. And one thing I found around the Hungaroring of all places is that the hard tires are so very slick, and naturally you're going to get that no matter where you are. The hard tires, obviously they're the harder compound, so there's not as much grip there, so they are going to be a little bit slick, but they are especially so around this circuit in general. So Lewis is just not having a good time with them at all. He's always turning the opposite way at the corner. He's actually driving through, but still hanging on to 6th and even gaining on Cryptox in some occasions. He's got the slipstream on him now, going down the front straightaway. He's going to try to make a move on the inside, and I think he's going to clear Cryptox, and he does move Lewis up into the 5th position, but Cryptox is trying to battle back. He's got a DRS zone here, but he's not able to do anything with it. Does he send it into turn 2? He does not. He's playing it safe. Good job on Cryptox there. So Lewis 5th, Cryptox 6th, and the McLaren of Vulcanus Prime trying to get around the racing point of Cryptox now as they approach turn number 4 with that blind uphill left-hander, and everybody gets through their A-OK around turn 5 now, and everyone's through there smooth as well.
Absolutely fantastic move there from Lewis there as well. Turn 1, Scott Butler's got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now, so he's got to be absolutely careful there as well. But it looks like he's having a bit of a battle there with Sab there for 3rd place here. Mike's moved up to 12th. O'Stephen dropped down to 13th place already here. So manic stuff here at the Hungarian ring for the Invictus Racing League and Performance League. A bit of a lock up there from Scott there, so that could lose him a few tenths here and there here. But here we go. Sab should have the opportunity to try and make the move here, unless Scott has a great exit here at turn 1, at turn 14. Sorry, looks like Sab's going through the inside there. And what a perfect move there! Absolutely perfect move there with the DRS just at the nick of time there as well for Sab. Brilliant stuff there from him. Let's have a quick look at Cryptox here. Cryptox is just trying to close in on Vulcanus Prime here. Looks like he has dropped down to 7th place here after the move at turn 1 here. So at the moment here, it's been a good start to this race here. Well, on lap 30 or 35 here, Tim.
Yeah, it has, and so far it's actually been a pretty decent race. Of course, with these drivers on the old medium tires now, I'm starting to wonder, when is their pit window, and when are they going to decide that enough is enough and that they come into pit, and who will be in the lead after that? Because you got to remember, Harry led the first few laps of this race, but he was on soft tires, I do believe, so he had to pit fairly early. Now he's on the hards, and he's got 4 laps on those, so he's just trying to work his way up through the pack. He's currently battling with Nitro Gash for the 8th position now. Nitro Gash holding on to him, and Nitro also is on old hard tires, so Harry should be able to make quick work of him once they get to the front straightaway, and he's able to use the DRS if he's not able to get around him before that. But Harry's trying to bide his time, but Nitro Gash is almost holding him up, honestly, just because there's so few opportunities to pass around here.
Absolutely. And B, he needs to try and make the move here as quickly as possible after the DRS straight in. He might have a great opportunity here. Just watching it from his point of view here, going down the straight here. Looks like Scott is in the pits here for his hard tyre stint here. Still watching from Harry's point of view. Try and make the move on the inside. That's perfect move. Just at the nick of time there. Nitro had to drift off a little bit on the left-hand side there. To try and give enough room. Respectful driving with these two drivers here. Yellow flag sector 3 there. Looks like the Red Bull of Mike at turn 14. Must have made a massive mistake there at turn 14 there, Tim.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate for Mike. His car allocated teammate of Maddie running in P2, but Mike all the way down there in the 16th position. He just has not had that great of a day here today, so I'm sure that he is ready for the Hungaroring to just be over with. Lap 14 of 35 now, 22 laps remaining in the in the Invictus Racing League Performance League Hungarian Grand Prix. Harry B might be your leader once pit stop cycle around. Not sure on that yet, but we're going to find out soon because Rimac, Maddie, and Sab, all three have pitted this time around. Will Lewis pit? No, he stays out, so Lewis is going to hold on to the lead for a while. Vulcanus Prime in second. Where will Rimac come out? Rimac is coming out of the pits now. He's currently in fourth, but will anyone behind him pass him first? It looks like Harry is going to go around Rimac, so Harry's in fourth now. Nitro Gash in fifth. Rimac comes out in sixth place, just behind the McLaren of Nitro Gash.
Absolutely, and it's just absolutely crucial that Rimac needs to try and get ahead of Nitro Gash because he is already on his own stint here as well. It looks like Mike is really struggling here and could get lapped here if he doesn't watch out here as well, and it will probably get lapped if he doesn't watch out, because the top two are closing in now on through the Estes Park section here as well. Looks like Vulcanus Prime trying to close in on Lewis here, who's doing an alright race, to be fair, considering he started off in the hard tyres as well. And just watching Prime now doing everything he can here to try and push on here as well. Rymac's got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. These guys with the penalties, they've got to be careful here. They've got to be absolutely careful because they could lose out massively at the end of the race. I mean, we're lost for words with the penalties because it could be that they could do well here. Well, depending on the position here, it looks like Mike has retired from the session, so he will not carry on. So he's one of the first guys in this race to have the DNF here. It looks like Rimac will need to try and make the move here. He needs to make the move here done now, and he does make the move here with the DRS perfectly there against Nitro Gash here. Tim.
Yeah, and you know, the corner that Rimac picked up that time penalty was the same corner that Scott Bugner picked one up a few laps ago. So they're going to have to be so very careful there, as you said, now, because the corner is just so sensitive the way that it detects the time penalties. And I really have no idea why, but that's just kind of how it is. So it's what the drivers are having to work with today. So Rimac probably not going to have the best of races when it's all said and done, since he already has at least 6 seconds worth of time penalties. And we're only about halfway through, not quite halfway yet, but approaching that point. But Rimac definitely has pace. He's on fresher tires, fresher hard tires, and he's running Harry down at a significant pace. It's actually very impressive to see how quickly that he's running Harry down. And of course, Lewis still in the lead with Vulcanus Prime in second. Looks like they're having a little bit of a battle now, but Lewis is not going into the pits this time. He bamboozled me there for a minute. I thought that he was going to go in there, but he is going to stay out on track for a few more laps, as is Vulcanus Prime. Harry B, 7 laps on those tires, just trying to fend off Rimac for the 3rd position. And Nitro Gash still out on old tires, just kind of hanging out. Absolutely.
I'm just watching Prime and Lewis here to see what they're going to try and do here. I was trying to watch it from your point of view. It looks like Rimac could be closing in on Harry here. 3rd place here. And could we see another Rimac gain another podium here? This will be a magnificent achievement here for him as well. It looks like Cliffy loses out to Sab at turn 1 here, and now Sab moves up to 7th place here. Could Sab get a podium here? This will be or top 5 finish. That's what I would love to see him get that boost off him as well. And I really do want him to get a podium here, to get him to carry on for the last 4 races, including this of the season here at the Performance League as well. Just watching Ryan Mack now try and do everything he can here on Harry here for 3rd place here through the Estes Park section here as well. Matty closing on Nitrogash for 5th place as well, and it looks like Ryan Mack does. Like I said, Harry on 8 laps already on the hard tyres here. Obviously the hards can go all the way to the end, that's no problem. It just depends on how Ryan Mack can try and stop Harry from going even longer on the hard tyres. But I wonder when, if there is a safety car, do you think these guys will pit again, or do you think they'll keep the hard tyres at this point?
Oh, I'm sure that if there is a safety car that they'll pit again, probably go for a set of mediums if they have a nice set on reserve. And if you're Harry, you should, because he started on the soft tires, switched over to the hard tires, so he should have a fresh set of mediums. Not sure about Rymac. He started on mediums, I do believe, so he stayed out for quite a while. And I think Lewis and Vulcanus Prime, they both actually started on the hard, so if a safety car came out at this moment, it would actually benefit them tremendously, because they could pull in, put on a fresh set of mediums, and go the rest of the way. They're almost within the window of going the rest of the way on softs, but it's a little bit too far for that.
Absolutely, and Harry's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So this could be the most unbelievable finishing we would ever see, depending on the penalty scenarios here as well. But still watching Ryan Mack now, trying to close in on Harry here now. He's trying to do everything he can here. It looks like Lewis and Vulcanus Prime still banging out here for 1st and 2nd place respectively here. But now we're over the halfway marker, already over the halfway marker here. It looks like Ryan Mack is trying to get that slipstream of Harry here. Harry's just saying, look, leave me alone. I do not want you to have the slipstream. I'm trying everything I can here to try and push on here. Sam moves up to 6th place here with the move on Nitrogash here. Nitrogash is struggling with those tyre wear now, because he did start off at the back of the grid to 7th place at the moment. Still fantastic battle there as well. It looks like Ryan Mack still trying to close in on Harry here. But this has been one hell of a race here, regardless whatever happens here tonight. And we've got about 27 laps remain here. Oh no, 17 laps, not 27. 17 laps remain here. I'm getting ahead of myself there. Another 10 laps. I'd be thinking, what is going on here, Malc? I do apologise, Tim, on that. So we're both equal on there as well. Vulcanus Prime 4/10 off Lewis here. So who are you watching so far here, Tim?
Still watching this battle between Harry and Rymac. However, I'm going to switch my view to Vulcanus Prime. Looks like he is starting to close in on Lewis, but just as I do that, Lewis dives into the pits. Vulcanus Prime going to stay out for at least another lap. So Lewis will probably be taking the medium tires. Vulcanus Prime, whenever he gets around to pitting, will probably take the medium tires as well. Of course, Vulcanus Prime probably hoping for a safety car at this point, but not sure that we're going to get one. And it looks like there might be a lot of jostling around for position around 8th place. Looks like Cliffy down there in 7th place has got Scott Bugner on his rear end. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry to interrupt you there, Tim. Rymac nearly made the move here on Harry, and needed a lock up there from Rymac here. This could be one hell of a move here. If Rymac can make the move here, this would be an absolute belter. I would call him a legend here if he does it here. No, I thought he was going to try and do it round that turn 4. He would have been an absolute true legend here. But still, coming to turn 5 here as well. Coming to the chicane part here now. Oh my days, this is absolutely brilliant racing here, Tim. Brilliant racing. Yeah, that it is, and Rymac knows that this could very well be for the win. Now, you got to remember, Rymac has at least 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Harry B has at least 3. So, time penalties are definitely going to come into play at the end of this thing, so who knows where these drivers are actually going to end up when it's all said and done. But Rymac still knows that this could very well be for the win of this race, because Vulcanus Prime still has to pit. And Harry will inherit that lead as soon as that McLaren driver does pit, but he will not be pitting this time. He has stayed out for yet one more lap Harry trying to break the draft, going down the front straightaway. Rimac following closely behind. He's getting that slipstream and really gaining a significant amount down the straightaway along with that DRS. So that's always helping Rimac there through turn number 1. A small DRS zone here going to allow him to keep close to Harry and gain on him just a little bit as they go into turn number 2. Both drivers taking it nice and smooth. Let's see if Rimac tries to make the move around the outside of turn number 3. Or turn number 4 rather, like he did the last time. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, he doesn't, but he does get a nice little run, or at least I thought he was going to, but it looked like he had to back out of it. The car looked like it got just a little too upset for him, so he had to back out of it and lost just a little bit of time to Harry.
Absolutely. And they're coming through the chicane bar here now as well. It looks like Cliffy is having a bit of a struggle battle here with Scott Bugner here for 6th and 7th place respectively here. Scott just did get ahead of O'Stephen there for 9th place as well. So that's the only other 2 battles, as well as watching the Rimac and Harry situation here for 2nd and 3rd place here as well. And to tell you what, I think these two are having a proper ding-dong battle here, and absolutely fantastic battles galore here as well. It looks like I'm just going to have a look at Rimac now to try and see if he can try and make the move here on Harry. But if not, I'm going to have a look at the other battles galore. It looks like Lewis is trying to close in on Scott Bugner here for 7th place. We're just going to have a look at Rimac now, try and defend here. Trying to hold on, trying to make the move here on Harry here. I'm losing words here as well. Scott Bugner's ahead of Cliffy. Scott Bugner's ahead of Cliffy here. And just trying to hold on for dear life here. Cliffy is going to try and bounce back here. With Scott with that extra DRS as well. We've got a 3-car battle here, Tim, for 6th place here, Tim.
Yeah, that we do, and meanwhile we still have a battle for 2nd between Rimac and Harry. Rimac closing the gap through turn number 5, but Harry still holding strong. Going through the chicane now, and wow, Rimac got a little bit loose, was turning kind of right in the left-hand corner, so Rimac trying to just hang on, as he really has been doing all race. He's just had a lot of issues with his handling, a lot of lockups, getting loose a whole bunch of times. Rimac just really struggling and still running in a podium position.
Absolutely, but while these two are having a proper battle here, this has brought Matty and slowly bringing up Sab into play here. And you can see in the background there, still got that 3-car battle here between Lewis and Cliffy here. So just watching Rimac now trying to make another attempt here, but I don't think he can make that attempt here. So I'm going to have to go back to Lewis here. Let's see if Lewis can try and make the move here on Cliffy here for 7th place here. Lewis should take the move, unless Cliffy has got extra boost here as well with the ERS. Lewis is trying to go around the inside here. Brilliant move. Fair, respectful driving between Lewis and Cliffy here. Pardon me on that one. Fantastic battle there. So Cliffy's dropped down to 8th place here, and Scott Bugner still holding on for 6th place here, Tim.
Yeah, that he is, and he's doing such a good job out here today. And you know, Lewis, he's got to be hungry. He's got a fresh set of medium tires on there. He's got a pace advantage over Scott Bugner, but he just cannot find a good position to pass. If he had enough speed out of turn number 5, this chicane could potentially be an overtaking zone, but there's just really not enough room there that you have to already have a rocket ship on the back of the thing before you try to make a move. And Lewis being very careful to not exceed the track limits there outside of that corner. Scott Bugner looking a little bit squirrely off the corner. Lewis fairly stable. Yeah,
it looks fairly stable at the moment here, Tim. Let's have a look at what you can try to do. Pass into turn 13 here. Coming up to turn 14 here, Lewis needs to try and push on here on Scott here, who's obviously Lewis on the fresher on the medium tyres here. Should be a little bit quicker than the hard tyres here, and would make the overtake move here. Now this will be an absolute opportunity of a lifetime here. Will Lewis try and make the move on the inside here? And he does make the move. Nightshade moves up to 15th as well. But will Scott bounce back here? No, he won't. He won't bounce back. It'll look like he might have a big opportunity to get back into this as well. But now I'm going to have to go back to actually let's have a look at O'Stephen and Scope here, Tim. Let's see what they can try and do, but we will have to go back to the 2nd place here, because we could have a 4-car battle here as well, Tim.
Yeah, there might very well be one forming here. Of course, Harry B starting to pull away from Rimac. Vulcanus Prime still staying out on those old hard tires. 23 laps on the hard tires. And of course, Malc, you said that you went 30 laps yesterday, so that might be what Vulcanus Prime is trying to do, is go 30 laps and then dive down for soft tires at the end and try to salvage whatever he can. I'm sure he's also holding out for a safety car. That would be his saving grace if a safety car were to come out, but I just don't see that happening with just over 11 laps to go here. But 24 laps on those hard tires now, 18 laps for Harry B on his hard tires, and 9 laps for Rimac at the moment. And Rimac really closing the gap into turn number 1, taking advantage of that DRS, and he's going to take advantage of it again as they head to turn number 2, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move this time, but he's sticking to the back of Harry B like he is glued to that Williams.
Yeah, he's trying. Oh my days, here we go. We've got turn 4 coming up soon here. It's Rimac trying to make the move on the inside there. He's going to try to do the old switcheroo around the outside here. Rimac's trying everything he can. He's really trying to make the move perfectly there. But Harry defending on that Williams car here as well. But while these two are battling out here, now Matt, as I said earlier on, Matty and Sab are slowly creeping up to these top second and third places. So now Vienna's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So a 4-car battle here, which is spiced up here now to find out who will get into the podium here at the moment here tonight. This will be the biggest question of them all here, Tim. What do you think is going to happen here with this 4-car battle here?
I think that newer tires will prevail by the time we get to the end of this race, so that means Harry B is going to start dropping back. How far back, though, is yet to be seen. Will he drop back to 3rd? Will he drop back to 4th or 5th? And you got to remember, he's also got time penalties. And look at that, Rimac trying to go around the outside and a big lockup and into the back of Harry B. And using that DRS to try to get around him. If he hadn't hit him in the back, he might actually have been able to make the move that time. And now look at that, Matty going underneath Rimac, and there's contact between both of them. Matty backing out of it and dropping back. Rimac trying to stay forward and keep his head straight and go after Harry B still as they go through turn number 4. And wow, that was very close for Rimac to cut that corner, but so far it looks like the stewards are okay with it. That was close though.
Yeah, he was very close there. It looks like they were trying to Matty.
Oh, and Harry went through the grass. Harry went through the grass just a little bit there, and that's going to allow Rimac to get close to him. There was contact again. Rimac giving Harry a shot to the back that time around, and now he is right there. He is practically glued to that Williams once again, but Harry got a better exit out of the corner that time.
Absolutely. It looks like Lewis has got a 3-second time penalty towards now. This could be a 5-car battle here in a moment here, because look at this, Lewis. If Harry's holding up these 3 cars here, this is a bad situation here now, because now looks like Sab's going to try to make the move here on the situation. It looks, it's like a sync of going from right back to left here, trying to get rid of that slipstream there. And it looks like Rimac's going to go try and make round the outside here at the DRS straight here. Because of this now, Matty could be having an opportunity of a lifetime here. Try and make the move on the inside here. No. Struggles galore here. Unbelievable stuff here, Tim.
Yeah, Rimac trying to make that move around the outside of turn 1. Harry just absolutely denied him that pleasure. Rimac trying to go around the outside of turn 5 now, giving him another tiny little shot to the back through that corner. And will Rimac try to make the move into the chicane? No, he will not. I thought he was going to try to send it, but he did not. Probably best from Rimac. So nice patient driving that we're seeing here. Harry taking a trip through the grass once again, and I think Rimac actually joined him that time. And all this is helping Vulcanus Prime. He's 12 seconds ahead of these drivers, and I'm sure that he's praying that he can get to at least a 20-second gap so that he could theoretically have a free pit stop. Of course, I don't see that happening, as Vulcanus Prime has just decided to pit after having 28 laps on those hard tires. So now let's see where Vulcanus Prime will come out.
Vulcanus Prime's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so that will damage the reputations here for him. Even if he does get catch up to here, he will lose out massively here. But look at this, we could have a two wide here, two wide situation here. We've got Matty trying on the inside here against Rimac here. Matty will try and hold on here for dear life here, but will Rimac get bounced back up to second place here? It looks like Rimac's still trying to defend it on the inside here. It's a big contact. It's a big contact. There is.
Rimac taking a trip through the grass.
Oh no!
And now we got That's Sab. Sab has spun it into the wall, and he has crashed. Sab is retired from the session, wrecked out. Oh, that is unfortunate for Sab.
I think there was contact there between Lewis and Sab. It looked like both of them were side by side here. Yeah, we got the first safety car of the race here. I really, really did feel sorry for Sab here because he was driven a magnificent race here up to that point there. And I think it was because of that contact. I mean, we'll need to look back at it again, but it looked like they would go side by side there at turn 3. Turn 3, and then at that point in time, it might have been the bounce back onto the track here as well. So that's really, really unfortunate there for Sab there. That was a shame because I would have loved to have seen him try and get a good opportunity a lot of time here. So now Harry, Matty, Lewis, Rymac, they're all pitted. Scott is pitted. Cliffy should be pitted as well. Is Prime's pitting as well, which I was very surprised because he was on the fresh softs as well. Are you surprised with that, Tim?
Yeah, I very much am surprised with Vulcanus Prime, unless he's just trying to get that time penalty out of the way so that maybe he can just try to improve his position. And I think that might be what he's doing, so that way he knows that he served all his time penalties that he's able to, and so it's just straight race for a position from this point on. And he's going to jump a few drivers as he exits the pit. Looks like he's going to come out in P8. So a lot of the drivers ahead of him do have the fresh softs. Looks like Scott Bugner has fresh mediums, and Nitro Gas stayed out on slightly older medium tires. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these final, what will probably be about 4 laps, play out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen and what can build up here as well. It'll be a battle out between Harry, Matty, Lewis here as well for the podium here. But Rymac, who's done a magnificent drive as well, he was trying everything he can to get past Harry, but I couldn't see the contact because the camera view was just out of the way there, but it looked like there was a bit of contact there when they were going side by side there with Matty up to turn 2 there. But overall, what have you thought of the race so far here from your point of view here, Tim?
It's actually been a very good race, a lot of different tire strategies thanks to the full qualifying, and in addition to that, we have this safety car which is really throwing a spanner into the works. A little bit of contact here and there, a little bit of jostling around for position, but it's been a good race overall, I do believe. Of course, Harry up there in first place, Matty in second, Lewis in third. That's your podium at the moment, and we're going to go back green. I'm going to guess next time around we got to wait for the rest of the pack to find their place behind everyone else. So we got about 3 or 4 drivers who have yet to do so. And so until then, it's just going to give these drivers time to get some heat in these fresh, soft tires and get ready for the plan of action ahead. Yeah,
but what did I say to you earlier on in the stream? What would happen if we had the safety car? I know it wasn't deadly earlier on in the, later on in the near the end of the race, which it kind of is, but can you imagine if this was like lap 33, 34 with a safety car and everyone else is banging out with penalties galore? This will be manic stuff there. Can I just remind you actually, Tim, Nigel Gash yesterday did not have a penalty at all yesterday, so, and I haven't seen any penalties from him as well tonight, unless I'm mistaken. This could be crucial. This could be massively crucial here for these guys here who are, and obviously Nigel Gash, who kept out on his tyre to try and keep up with the positions here. Could we see a shock winner here tonight, Tim?
I think it's very possible that we could see a shock winner. However, I am surprised that Nitro Gas did not pit for any tires during that last round of pit stops. But checking the time penalty so far, I'm only seeing a warning for Nitro Gas. Only 1 warning so far, but I'm not at the bottom of the list just quite yet. A lot of penalties for Harry B, it looks like, as well as Vulcanus Prime. But so far, I think that Nitro Gas just has the 1 singular warning. He actually has 2 warnings, my mistake, but no time penalties that I can see.
Absolutely. So fair play to you. If you can try and hold on, that'll be fantastic.
Wait just a minute, Malc. he has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. I don't know when that happened. I did not catch that, but that is on my screen now. I'm almost wondering if it just happened. It says lap 28, and we're on lap 30 now, are we not? Yes, so it was 2 laps ago. Nitro Gas did receive a penalty.
Absolutely. Safety car is in this lap here, and Harry will be back up here on the racetrack here now. So we're back live racing here as well. They're trying to get rid of that slipstream there. Through the I like how it just coming up saying Nitro Gas 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane now. That's what I'm getting now on the standings here as well. It looks like Lewis could Lewis try and get the opportunity to try and make the move on Matty? Oh, the side by side here. Nitro Gas is in the pits there. And he's retired already in the pits, so something must happen there from his point of view there as well. So we've got about a 3-car battle here. It looks like Lewis has lost to Scott here for 4th place after he had a battle with, Lewis lost out massively on a few positions there to Rymac and also to Scott as well. Tim.
Yeah, Lewis, he actually had some contact there with Matty through turn number 2, and he went through the grass. He didn't hit anything, but he lost about 2 or 3 positions, so that put him back down to the 5th position. So he's battling it out with Scott Bugner and Clippy at the time being now. So Harry, Matty, and Rymac, your top 3 at the moment, lap 31 to 35. Rymac trying to get close to Matty, Matty trying to get close to Harry B. And you got to remember, all 3 of these drivers do have time penalties of some sort, I do believe, especially Harry and Rymac. So this is going to be a very interesting finish here once we cap it off at 3 laps time. Absolutely,
but you might have to give a bit of an update on a few positions here, Tim, because if Harry's got penalties, I think Matty's definitely got penalties, Rymac's definitely got penalties, I think Scott Butler's definitely got penalties as well, Lewis has, Cliffy has as well, I think. As well, they're going side by side here, Lewis again, trying to go on the inside here. Has he made the move against Scott? They're going side by side here, they might have to be careful here. Oh, what a move! What a move there from Lewis, and they're still going side by side here, up to turn 4 there. What a move there from Lewis, but again, oh no, he's lost the back end there, and he could lose out into Scotty again. And he has, he's lost the position. He was going too far into the grass there, and Lewis has lost his position there from a position that he could have done well there from, well, he would have been better there for 4th place. Loses out to the grass there as well into 13th place here, and now we've got a 3-car battle here between Scott, Cliffy and Prime here, Tim.
That we do. So Vulcanus Prime rebounding from staying out for 28 laps on old hard tires, and rebounding from a 5-second time penalty, trying to go around Cliffy around the outside, getting that slipstream off of Scott Bugner, and then Alfa Romeo as they turn, going down to turn number 1, going to try to go around the outside of Cliffy, but Cliffy is fast, and there's some contact there, just a little bit of contact, sending Vulcanus Prime a little bit to the outside line. They're going to be dead even side by side through turn number 2. It's going to be Vulcanus Prime with the preferred line, but I think Cliffy with a slightly faster car, and Cliffy will prevail and pulls in front of Vulcanus Prime. Move Cliffy up into the 5th place position as he is now working on Scott Bugner through turn number 4. He is close and glued to the back of that Alfa Romeo.
Absolutely fantastic drive there from Cliffy and Prime here. And now Cliffy, with the Drivers' Championship leader at the moment here, try and get that championship mode here on him to try and get back into 4th place here. But he will lose out massively if he needs to try and make the move on Scotty if he wants to try and improve his points here. Whatever happens here tonight. At the moment here, we're on lap 33 or 35 here. We will be on the penultimate lap in a moment or 2 here. But still, I want to watch this top 3. But then also I want to watch this 4th, 5th and 6th battle here. Who's going to prevail to try and hold on? Because this is going to be penalties galore. And this is what's going to happen here as well. Will Cliffy try and make the move here on Scotty? Needs to try and make the move late braking mode. No, he doesn't. He's trying to push on here, but look at Prime now. Prime's going out the behind here as well. He's lost the back end there off turn 1 here. But look at the background there. There's about so many cars behind there. And Jamie trying to hold on here against Vienna there. From looks things at the background there. Matty's lost to Rymac there at turn 4. Rymac made the move at turn 4. I just saw the aftermath of it. What a move there. if it was there at turn 4. That was a cracker. Tim.
So it looks like Rimac finally got that move done after trying to do it all day, and what a better time to do it than right here at the end of the race. Matty trying to rebound and get back by Rimac. Rimac looks like he's got his sights set on Harry B, but he's only going to have a lap and a half to catch him, so he's going to have to go so very quick because we're coming to the white flag this time around. Just 2 more corners, and we're going to see that white flag waving in the air. 1 more lap to go here very shortly. Everyone bypassing the pin entry there. Rimac starting to lose time to Harry B as they go down the front straightaway.
Absolutely. Let's just have a look at the final lap of this race here. Let's see what happens here from everyone's point of view here as well. Looks like Volcano's probably try and make the move here on Cliffy. Could be an opportunity. Let's have a quick glance. Prime. There's so many overtakes galore here. Will Prime try and make the move on the inside here? Roy Boy's disqualified. Roy Boy has disqualified for failure to use tyre compounds, so I think he was already left the session here already, but still we've got about 5 car battle here for 4th place here. Every position counts here. Let's see how Cliffy can try and push on here. So Tim, what's going to happen here? What's your predictions up to this point here?
I think Scott Bugham's going to be able to hold off Cliffy, but Cliffy is going to give it his all right here because Cliffy knows he's leading the points, but he wants to have a good buffer over Moreno, who could not make it here tonight. And Cliffy might just be able to do that with a 5th place finish, but a 4th place finish sounds a lot better to him indeed. Meanwhile, Harry B is just now entering the 3rd sector. 2 more corners around this racetrack for Harry.
Here we go. Harry's, as you said, coming up to the last 2 corners here now. Rimac trying to close in as well. So Cliffy could try and make the move here on Scott if he could try and make it perfectly here. But Harry's turn the final corner here, and he will cross over the line. Matty moves up to 2nd place. Harry holds on to 1st. Where's Scott? Is Scott lost this out to 4th place to Cliffy and drops himself down. There's quite a few drivers who've just got moved up positions here, so I don't know where everyone was at that last point in time, but Harry did actually win the Hungarian Grand Prix, so well done to him. Congratulations to him as well. But Matty finishing in 2nd place as well, and Rimac dropping down to 3rd as well. That is still epic battle there as well, so well done as well to those drivers there. Fantastic driving as well. Harry on his 2nd race of on his 1st ever season of the Performance League as well. 2 races in, 2nd race, and he has gone to get there as well. So let's see. Well done to Matty there on 2nd place as well. Fair play to him. And also Rimac in 3rd place. Here are your race classification for the Hungarian Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. Harry is in 1st, Matty 2nd, Rimac in 3rd, Cliffy in 4th, Scopefielder 5th, O'Stephen 6th, Scott 7th, Vienna 8th, Nightshades 9th, Jamie 10th, Cryptox 11th. Vicarious Prime will have a DSQ because of over 21 seconds. Lewis will finish in 12th. Nitrogash, Sab, Mike, Roy Boy, they've all had the DNF or DSQs during. So yeah, so fair play to those guys as well. So we're just going to get some of the drivers in if they are available. I know it's running late, but we will try and do the questions as quickly as possible. So we'll get Harry, Matty and Rimac to join in if they are available. If not, we will cut. So let's see if we can get to try and push on here. But yeah, Tim, what's your thoughts of the race tonight?
Well, I think that we saw a cracker of a race here at the Hungaroring today. A lot of different tire strategies and the safety car at the end, of course, throwing a spanner in the mix, as I said earlier. But in addition to that, you saw a lot of drivers being very ambitious. Of course, as you know, the easiest way to overtake at this track is into turn number 1. It's a DRS zone. It's a very long straightaway, something that this track is very lacking in. But turn number 2 does have that DRS zone, and it's enough of a straightaway to where you can set up a pass and we saw a few drivers like Lewis try to make a move and didn't always work, and I think Rimac even had an issue there and still rebounded to a top 3. So the ambition of the drivers trying to get around and make moves at a track that really does not have a lot of overtaking opportunities really made for a good race today.
Absolutely. So we're just waiting for some of the drivers to come in now, and looks like they are coming in now. So guys, before you carry on, please make sure allow voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So at the moment here, we've got Harry and we've got Matty to join us here in the top 2. Oh, I don't know if Rimac can join us. If not, we'll have to do Harry and Matty's questions as we can do. Guys, are you all set, ready to go?
Ready.
I'm ready.
Nice one. So we'll get Harry his thoughts of his first win of the season as well, on his second race at the Performance League, and Matty on his let me just check, I think that's your, let me just double check your podiums, your first ever podium this season, so fair play to you on that one. Let's see what his thoughts are on as well. Harry, how you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm very well, mate. You?
Not too bad. How did that feel for you in that race here tonight?
It's very, very tough. I think obviously from Q2 I was sort of the only guy in the top 4 starting on the soft tyres, which probably wasn't a good, but I've got such a good start off the line that I just got the clear air and I managed to sort of break away a little bit in the first stint. But it was a very tough race because Ryan, who can't be said to say, can't make the interviews, but Ryan was unbelievably quick. It was sort of me and him in the first stint, but then very quickly it became sort of 4 or 5 cars suddenly fighting for the win because my tyres were going very quickly. But it's a relief to get over the line first.
Brilliant stuff. And as you mentioned about the battle between yourself and Rimac as well, would you say that's one of your best battles so far in your 2 races this season?
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it. I had a pretty good battle with Game on Monday night on this circuit. You can only really overtake sort of turn 1 or 2. I know he tried up the hill into turn 4 a couple of times, but as long as you defend the inside, then you can't really do anything. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed racing with Ryan, and he was really on good form tonight. So it's I'm pleased we both got on the podium.
Brilliant stuff. From your point of view as well, Harry, if you started off at the first race of the season, would you have been closer to the top 2 now if you battled out, or do you think it would have been a tough call, shall we say?
I think it's impossible to say. I'm really pleased with obviously Spa 4th. Obviously a win today is really good. But I think the last 3 tracks are really quite horrible circuits for me. So I'm not sure we'll be able to see anything quite as good for the last 3 rounds. But no, probably not. I think Cliffy's done a really good job. Scott's done a really good job. I know Marino. There's a lot of really good drivers in this league. And it also depends on the allocation. Williams at Spa really isn't that nice. Around Hungary, it's still not nice, but it's at least because there's not too many straights, you're at least able to maybe work with it a little bit more, which is why I just about managed to take the win tonight. Brilliant
stuff. For final time for your side, we've got Baku next week, Azerbaijan, and you'll be starting at the back of the grid. So how do you think you'll do at Baku?
Well, from the back of the grid in the Williams at Baku, very, very long straight. I can't imagine too well, to be honest, Malc. I'll try and have a bit of fun, I suppose. Like I said, I've got no chance of a championship, so just try and have a bit of fun with it.
Brilliant stuff, Harry. Well done for tonight. You are the winner, your first ever win of the season here for the Performance League at the Invictus Racing League. Well done, mate. And if you keep that momentum going, you never know. You might shut yourself up into probably like I said, a top 10 finish could be if you keep that run going. We'll have to wait and see from the next 3 races in. But well done for tonight, Harry. Well done for that. So. You can stay if you want, you can shoot off, it's up to you, Harry, but thank you very much for joining tonight. Matty, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Alright, so mate, you?
Not too bad. Now, from your point of view, this has been your first ever podium this season in the Performance League. This has got to be your bestest ever race during this season, or am I saying it differently now? Because it's
No, with the races that are on the grid, I'm surprised I even get in the top 3, so I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you had some great battles that we saw throughout the race itself, and that near the end of that race, you had a battle with Rymac as well. I bet you had some nervous time, shall we say, to try and hold on for the top 3 finish here.
Yeah, we come together a couple of times, but yeah, fair play to him. Played it quite fair, so credit to him.
Fair dues, fair dues. Was there any other good battles that you've had during the race?
I'm not too sure. I'll have to look back on it. See.
Fair enough, fair enough. But from your point of view here, and obviously this is your first podium here of the season at the Hungarian ring as well, so would you say this is one of your best ever tracks, would you say?
Yeah, it's one of my favourites. Like, the 30 years, not very good. Like, round track, if you get close to someone, like, but...
Fair.
Yeah, I'll say it's in my top 3, my best track.
Oh, can I say, is your other 2 best tracks this season, or are you not going to say?
Oh, it might be the next one.
Oh, right, so I'll do this for the final time. What's your thoughts of Baku next week? Obviously, you'll be joining the back with Harry and Rymac, so obviously you've got that tricky castle section as well, so do you think you've got a good chance of getting another top 5 finish, would you say?
Oh, yeah, I could go for that. I might give myself a target, top 5.
Top 5. That was just a predicted guess on that one, because you had
I'll try just for you.
Oh, okay, we'll have to wait and see. But Matty, it's been a pleasure to hear from you as well on the commentators box. Same with you, Harry. Well done for tonight, getting in the podium here, Matty. You can stay if you want to, you can shoot off, it's up to you. But thank you very much for joining tonight, Matty.
Cheers, buddy, thank you.
So, I'd like to thank Harry and Matty for joining me in the commentators box. It's a shame that we couldn't hear from Rymac, but I'm sure he'll be delighted for finishing the podium here. But I would have loved to hear the battles between Harry and Matty to hear some words afterwards as well. But I'm sure it would have been one hell of a fight for the battle to try and get the win there as well. So congratulations to those top 3. Thank you to Harry and Matty for joining us tonight. Tim, if you're still there, thank you very much for joining tonight. It is coming up to 10:05 tonight. So final thoughts, if you're still there, final thoughts tonight?
I'm still here, and I think it was a good race. You know, congratulations to Harry on his win. Congratulations to Maddie and Scott Bugner on their podiums. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And thank all the drivers for racing with us here in the Invictus Racing League. Tonight was a very good race, even though I'm sure that there's quite a few people that are pretty upset.
Absolutely. But next week, it's Baku. Azerbaijan Grand Prix, as I said earlier on, the castle section, the long straights there. It's going to be epic. It's going to be absolute brilliant racing. I could see that happening as well. So don't miss it there, guys. See you all next week for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Who will try and stop Cliffy for the Drivers' Championship? Will we see a different couple of winners? Or could it be Harry and Matty still in that podium here as well? Or maybe a win again for Harry, maybe a win for Matty. We'll have to wait and see from that point of view. But cheers for that, guys. I'll see you all next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.